Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 840, powered by NZXT. It is May 14th, 2024. How are we? A little bit halfway through May already. I can't do this. I can't take this, folks. We're going to have to stop time. We're going to make Sundays happen twice in a week after this podcast. I'm your host of this podcast, Jan Choa. Joining me, co-captain of the ship. He's manning the calendars and the Asana tasks. He's hitting all the collaborators, hitting the right projects. Jeff Grubb.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Asana since we talked about it yesterday. Gonna have to work on that.
The new Asana mama, making sure we're on track, and we're coming for Lucy James's crown because Lucy James just bah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha'd him. So watch out, Lucy. We're coming for you. Watch your six. Even though you're on the team, watch your back because Jeff Bacalar.
The fuck kind of intro is that?
Gotta say, though, I'm not gonna forget about Asana now that I think about Jeff Bacalar being the Asana mama. So it's a choice intro.
I did not invent Asana.
No.
Okay.
No,
yeah, but you're my Asana mama.
What? I don't even use it. Let's be honest. But we.
Don't tell us that.
No, I do. I live by it. I eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I sleep about it. I sweat it out. I am the Asana overlord. Get with the fucking program.
We have to stop talking about Asana or else we're gonna have to explain it, and I don't like. We can't do
What's
that on
Asana?
podcast.
People know what Asana.
Damn it!
I think people know what Asana is if they have like
a job.
A job maybe. I don't know. It's like
I have
it's
a
just
job.
It's a project management software. There
that's
you
all.
go.
Oh,
That's
like
all.
yeah, we use Monday.
Yeah,
Yes.
Monday is I think their
Yeah,
biggest
we
competitor.
have a meeting on Monday. That's what we also use to plot out the week, Mike.
Oh, my
well,
bad.
yeah.
Who's on first?
Joining us as well, our dear friend, gracing us with his presence, even though this man is critically, almost gravely injured, the most dangerous man in games media, Mike Minotti.
I saw a doctor today. It's officially broken.
Oh, it is fractured.
It's broken,
It's a fractured wrist.
You went from the brace, and then you wrapped it up, and now you're back in the brace.
Wait,
Well, I was
what?
like, I could wrap it up just sometimes, and now I'm like, when I can, I should be wearing the brace. Sometimes I use the tape, especially when I'm like the controllers and stuff. It's kind of hard to do this. I told him like, look, I got work to do. I got to use this wrist sometimes.
He was Donald ducking too hard, and in the quack
Wait.
shot, he broke his wrist.
Wait, I have no idea. Catch me up. How did you break your wrist? And you don't seem to be
Mike
like.
got into a fight at a bar.
Yeah.
Him and his friends were
That actually
insulting.
almost did happen.
That almost happened. That's a different story. But no, me and my buddies went rollerblading last week because we haven't done that in a while. Within 10 minutes.
God, your Asana mom is so disappointed in you right now, Mike.
wasn't even on
He's
the
scheduling
rink.
being disappointed right now, Mike.
Didn't even make it to the rink. Just was on my little rollerblades trying to walk because I had to get changed for the lockers and just fell on my ass, tried to catch myself with the wrist. And like immediately, my first thing was just like telling, because there's like just people looking at me. I'm just like, oh, I'm okay. Please don't look at me. Then I like, get up,
Don't
like,
perceive me.
oh, that doesn't feel good. Something's wrong there. So then I skated very poorly for like an hour and a half and got margs. And then like, then I did a podcast with Jeff that night. I'm like, it's fine. Then the next day, I'm like, oh, this feels worse.
First, you stole proggies from me. Then you stole hurting your wrist while falling down rollerblading from me. Is there nothing sacred?
I just want your hair. It's just like eventually I steal enough
You
things, I'll
actually
get
very
that.
much did not want my hair. You kept trying to give it back to me for like a half a year.
Yeah, I did have a bag of it. It was disgusting.
So you fell like directly on it, or what
I
happened?
fell back and I tried to catch myself, and I think they called it. The lady called it the pooping duck. Is what she called it, because like the
she
wrist
didn't.
looks like
No, she didn't.
I swear to
Your
God,
Disney brain
I swear
just
to God.
whatever she said turned it into that. Mike, no, she
pooping
didn't.
duck.
There
Guys,
are medical professionals that listen to this podcast. Is
Hold on.
pooping duck a thing?
I swear
I
to
believe
God.
it. I believe it. I believe it.
Because she's like, oh look, see, like she told me like your wrist,
Yeah.
your wrist less than others. She specified looks kind of like a duck from this X-ray, and here's like
It's a
butt
thing.
and like your little like bone.
She's like, you're so
is
lucky it
fractured
wasn't a
off it.
slamma-jamma. It's just a
Wasn't-
pooping duck.
No, it wasn't a poop duck slamma jamma.
It's absolutely a thing. So, well, at least r/radiology thinks it's a thing. But no, I see what happened there. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. So you fractured it, and there's obviously no surgery needed, right?
Yeah, it's like I say broken. Fractured,
fractured.
broken,
Hairline.
can be
Hairline?
interchangeable, but
Right.
like it's a tiny little nublet that broke off, and as
I
long
think
as
you
I
say
keep
that.
it stable for a month,
Does it hurt?
should be fine. I might have to do. It doesn't hurt that bad unless I move in a specific ways. What I'm upset about right now is like when I was there, they're like, "Does like your shoulder also hurt?" And I was like, "No." Then I walked out. I was like, shoulder kind of hurts. So now, right now, I'm like, why does my shoulder hurt? And of course, I'm not going to see him again for 6 weeks. So hopefully, the shoulder thing just takes care of itself.
Did
Well,
they
that's
incept
comforting.
the shoulder pain into your brain, you think, Mike, or does it shoot hurt? Because you probably also landed on that too a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all that same arm I landed on, but I don't think. Look, I'm sure like I pulled something, but I don't think I broke anything in my shoulder.
So
Right.
was this like a banana peel, like a whoop 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 whoop, and then back, or
It
how'd
was
that-
pretty like, no, I just kind of went forward, and I think it was one of those like, oh, losing my balance. So I go forward and then fall back.
right? No safety equipment. I'm assuming.
No, nothing near me. Just went right on the floor.
No, I'm talking
and
about like wrist guards for someone who.
Oh no,
No,
It was
okay.
adult night at Youngstown Skate. Nobody was wearing anything. Absolutely not.
You all
Wait,
were
that-
absolutely
It
naked.
was nude
Yeah.
skate? Dude, you
That-
didn't include
believe
that
that.
part.
That adds a
Everyone's-
different wrinkle to this story.
Yeah, lots of
Everyone's
wrinkles,
dangly
probably.
bits flowing in the breeze. I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. That sucks, man.
It's all right. Like I said, I'm mostly completely functional. It's weird because I'm traveling a ton the next few weeks. Like even
Why is that
before Summer
weird?
Game Fest, I'm going out to Chicago and LA for other things. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be braced up.
So you're gonna be
for all
you'll
the
have
travel.
that brace at SGF, is what you're saying.
Yes, and maybe I can attack Dan with it. Like
Yeah,
I
because
can
it's,
play
like,
Bob
enforced.
Orton.
Yeah.
You realize you should stay away from him. He's the kind of guy that like sees a cast and is like, "How hard's this?" and just starts knocking.
Then I'll be unable to play my next Blight Club game. We'll have to
No,
go to
you are
his
not getting
2
out.
in a row.
No way.
Well, right now I'm fine. If Dan attacks me, I don't know.
I love how you're weighing the options. You're like,
Dan's like, that's not how it works. Oh my god.
oh man, that stinks, dude. Ugh.
Yeah.
hate
Someone's like,
hearing
are my
about-
knuckles bruised or just hairy? No, this is just the body hair that's on my knuckles.
There's nothing I hate more than skate-related injuries. So
Yeah, I
Sorry
was
to hear
thinking
that.
about you because I was also very bad at just skating.
Uh-huh.
Like I thought, like, oh, I'll pick this up again. I did when I was a kid, and it just wasn't happening. Then I like looked at my standing posture, and I realized that my left foot is like a bit left of noon, and then my right foot just naturally is kind of hanging out at like 230. So I'm like, this is gonna make skating pretty
Oh.
difficult. If like just trying to straighten my ankles is somewhat painful. I don't know where I got this bad posture. It's a mystery.
We got to find the guy who did this.
Gotta find out who did this.
Well, Mikey, I'm glad that you were healthy enough and not broken that you could join us today. It warms my heart. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I
sir.
need this because I'm going to be out of town for 10 days. I got to get some more time on that spreadsheet before I'm out of here. Got to get paid.
I think he's just milking us for our money, guys. I don't
mean,
know.
you're already hanging out with Perky. You know, like you
That's
can just
true.
like get him to Venmo you directly now.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
How's everyone else doing? Jeff.
I'm doing okay. There was something I hurt myself too, but I don't want to take any of the spotlight.
Oh, sure.
I appreciate that.
Hey, Mikey needs that.
I don't know. We had like a really bad hockey game the other day. We like lost our first playoff game, and it was fucking bad. I'm not
Oh,
over
honey,
it.
I'm sorry.
Did you lose the title?
No, I didn't lose the belt because I still have the belt because we only give it away when we win,
Okay.
and then I have to give it to the next MVP of
Oh,
the
so you've just
next
been
winning
throwing the
game.
games ever since then, so you can keep the belt.
Yeah, that's the move. We
Really
went,
helping
like-
my parlay sitch. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. We
We
went.
should gamble on his games.
Don't. We went 14-1 in the regular season, and lost 3-2 in our first playoff game because we're fucking assholes.
Oofa doofa.
Sorry,
I'm just
bud.
pissed.
Oofa,
It sucks.
doofa,
It sucks.
whoopity-doo.
This was our shot, and we blew it, and whatever. What else is going
Yeah,
on?
no more hockey allowed after this. That's
No,
it.
the next season starts in 3 weeks.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is going on. Nothing too crazy with me. I feel like I wish I had a better story to tell.
I think we're just busy because like my whole thing is I'm going to complain about being stressed out and thinking about too many other things to be able to have any fun or to do things well, and that's my life right now.
Complaining
So.
does help though, doesn't it? It makes me feel better.
Yeah, it definitely does not. It definitely doesn't help. But,
Oh, really? Maybe
I mean,
I'm a freak.
You know what? Maybe complaining helps. I think whining doesn't. Is there a difference?
Yes,
it's hard to say.
As someone who's a professional complainer, there's absolutely a difference.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't call you a whiner, Beck.
No,
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
a fucking whiner. I
you're
complain
not-
about everything
yeah.
because it's terrible.
This might shock people, but I was known as being a particularly whiny child.
No shit.
No.
Wow. Wow. What a
I
shocking
whined
revelation.
with the best of them. Oh,
Is that why the Minati motto is like, if Mikey's not happy, nobody's happy?
that was literally where it comes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just whining
Jan,
of
until
course, yeah.
I got my
Jan,
way.
of course.
And then, yeah.
Of course. Of course. I think I'm also ready for my fucking parents to get out of here.
Sure.
Yeah.
When is the house closed? Are they good, or is it like guaranteed they're getting this new place?
I don't know, man. Like
That's their business.
fucking my dad just has like I disagree with everything he does.
Sure.
There's just not a single thing that we're on the same page with aside from like I don't know, eating. Like everything
Right,
else we
calories
are
are good.
diametrically opposed. Like I just don't, we have literally nothing in common. We are so unlike each other. Stacey says to the other, she goes, "I can't believe how much you're not like your dad." I'm like, "We're going to whisper while we talk about this?" But thank you for saying that. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. I think I'm ready. I'm ready.
But we're right. Definitely no whining.
Yeah, I'm not whining. That's not whining.
No.
No, I can't believe I have to. That's what whining is. Whining is like the
He's right.
ambulance.
I would know. That's whining.
Exactly. my fucking 9-year-old whines. No, can I have strawberries instead of? It's
Yeah.
like, shut up, little kid.
Yeah.
At least he's
Shut
interested in
up.
fruit, you know?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, we're-
you. Speaking of two people who are unlike each other, like, dude, this kid.
I was beginning to relate to him until the strawberry thing.
People can whine about fruit. That doesn't sound right to
I'll
Mike.
He
tell you what,
loves
that was
fruit.
the opposite of what I was whining about. I was about Kit Kat bars or something.
Oh, it's so funny how it's weird. He's the only kid I know who's like active, who like loves eating well. Like he's like salad and fruit.
That's
like
cool.
loves it. It's crazy. He got a taste of the soda the other day. Did I tell you guys about this?
Oh, careful
No.
about
Fucking
that.
tasted the poison, and I was just like,
What
I
did he
pulled out
have?
his tongue with tongs and slapped it. I was
Yeah.
like, listen.
Yeah, you got to pinch it to associate it with pain.
I was
Yeah.
like, yo, this is a quarter treat. Okay.
What soda pop did he go for?
So now he's had it enough where he's just like, can I have Coke? Can I have Coke?
And like the full fat Coke?
He's a child. He's
Yeah,
like,
he wants like the
No, I know.
Marlboro Red of sodas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I know. I just want to make sure because like
Yeah, he
some
wants-
people don't even buy that. So
Yeah, no. Well, we don't have it in the house. He just had it at like a birthday party or something.
Sure.
it is wild because like when we were kids, like Coca-Cola was like a default kids drink.
Yes.
And now,
Yeah.
probably rightfully so. People
Oh,
are like,
it's
not
insane.
in my house.
And-
Not my house.
dude.
Nope.
And you know what pisses me off? And again, file this in the complaint and not the whining category because
All right,
that's what I'm about to
I'll be
fucking
the judge
do.
of that.
I'm sorry, but like, you kids go to a party. Look, I'm not gonna say this kid can never have soda in his entire life. I'm not a psychotic person. But like, I don't know, don't like open up his gullet and start pouring it down it either. You know what I mean? Like, you should
were
not
they
have
doing, like,
unlimited
gravity
soda.
bombs?
You should not have unlimited soda for kids at a party. I'm just gonna say it, right? Unlimited
Sounds like a
soda.
cool party though.
So complaining is be like, I don't like this thing. Whining is you should change because I don't like this thing, right? That's the difference. Like
No,
whining
whining,
is
whining
Yes,
is more
exactly.
annoying.
Tone.
it's tone.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
It's just like,
tone,
I
yeah.
don't really want to.
And kind of
and-
skirting around
Okay.
blame.
And I do think
Sure.
whining is
I think it's
also
more active.
Whining is also about stuff that like I'll go ahead and say like for the most part isn't important. You know, it like doesn't matter as
Okay,
much.
yeah.
It's usually about McDonald's, like or something
Exactly.
like that.
Like
But I
I'm
wanted
complaining
nuggies.
about the traffic. I'm whining that the car doesn't come in the color I want. That
Okay.
kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That
so
sounds
it's like
right.
a Sweet 16 situation. You're not complaining that you didn't get the car you got. You're
Yeah,
whining about the
it's
car
totally-
you didn't
it's-
get.
Sure. We'll go with that. But anyway, so yeah, he got a taste of the poison, and now it's like every time we go out, he's like, "Can I get Sprite? Can I get Coke? Can I
Pretty
get
good,
this?"
isn't it?
He's just
And I get Baja Blast.
My
not
kids
there
have
yet.
still not had it. She's 7 is the older one, 5 definitely not, but still
Seven
not
was
had
the 7 was the age the seal was broken for him. We
Everything
started
I
going
was
to birthday
chugging
parties.
Cokes when I
Me
was
too.
like 3.
Me too. 100%. Yes.
Nobody thought anything of it.
It
Like,
was
that's
just
great, Mike. You
it
seem
was just
happy.
2 liters in the fridge, and that's what you would have with
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah,
Nonstop.
totally.
Drink water.
It
Yeah.
wasn't until college where I was like, this is probably bad for you.
I think they tested in high school. I was in wrestling, and like you did take a physical, and they didn't just touch my balls. They also tested my pee, and they're like, "Yo, your pee's pretty whack. Like it's basically
soda.
Coca-Cola." I'm like,
Your pee is Mountain Dew.
yeah, I'm like,
Your piss,
oh shit.
your piss came back as
Hey, look,
Pepsi.
there's the floating chunks of
carbonated.
fat in there. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm going to stop
Coca-Cola
doing that a
bottled it
little
and
bit.
called it Surge, and that's how we got that.
Yes.
I keep saying this, and I fucking say it because it's true. And I also don't think this applies to people in their like mid 30s and beyond. But when I graduated college, as someone who drank soda for 4 years straight, I left college weighing like 215. I stopped drinking soda and was under 200 pounds in like 2 months.
I wish I could
Just
quit.
bonkers.
It's possible, y'all.
No, I think I used to laugh at people and like, you're addicted to pop, and now I'm like, oh no, I can't stop when I want to. I think maybe that's an addiction.
I did stop for like 10 years after my wedding, and now recently I've like, it's not, anything with calories in it, but the aspartame ones, the zero here and there
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit
all
more
diet
frequently.
stuff at least,
Yeah.
but still, like I know it's.
And now I drink dirt.
Right, you're a dirt
your
boy
wood
now.
chip tea, yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious.
for you.
Energized. I can
That in
feel
prime.
I can feel the vibrations from this video call from Grub.
That's right.
Oh
Oh,
God, Prime
Mikey.
and Sherba Mate.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Grub.
Yeah.
I had another lobster roll on Sunday night to celebrate Mother's Day because I'm
Did it live up to the
the
Boston
the
one?
Asana Mama celebrated Mother's Day
There we go.
with a lobster roll.
I'm gonna get you a card every year now.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm
Had a
leaning into
lobster
it.
roll.
Dude, oh my gosh. We tried a new place about 20 minutes away, and it was fresh, like real,
Yeah?
like lobsters in the tank fresh.
Talking
That's
chunks.
good. As good as
Big
our-
chunks. Like, I think it was like a third of a pound of lobster meat in
How
the
buttered
in the
was that
roll.
split roll? How buttered was the split roll?
It was so here's what's interesting, folks. They had 2 lobster rolls on the menu, the Maine and the Connecticut. The Maine lobster roll was described as cold and a slight layer of mayo.
Yeah,
while the
mostly
Conne-
mayo.
Right? But I had some of that in another dish, and it was not overwhelming. It was good. The Connecticut one was the warm one with the butter, and that's obviously the one I went for. Just like, oh my God, you guys, I could eat a lobster roll every day. I think. I think I could absolutely do
Very
it.
good.
Holy shit!
If I could make that happen for you, I would make that happen for you, Bacalar.
Like, we get asked those questions like on the dump truck sometime, and it's like, please remind me, like I'm just a lobster roll boy. I don't know why I keep forgetting about it.
You're
Don't
like,
forget where you come
"Oh,
from."
You can join the lobster boys.
Dude, like
Lobster
lobster
roll,
meat
boy.
is so fucking insane. I don't care if they're the spiders of the sea, like whatever.
Which
yeah,
spiders taste that good? I need so many spiders.
Are they related to arachnids? Lobsters? Yeah, I guess they are. Crabs
I
definitely
don't
are.
know.
They're like insectoid adjacent.
Oh, they're definitely insectoid. Yes, yeah.
I
Must be
think
even older, right? Than
Well,
just straight
Can
up
I share with y'all? I feel very powerful whenever I eat octopus because like
Sure.
this is a species that could kill me.
Yeah, and
Whoa,
it has like a full-on brain. Yeah.
octopi, according to Mark Rober, octopi are like the closest thing we have to
The aliens.
an alien life form.
'Cause, like their DNA doesn't resemble anything else.
It's fucking bonkers. He made such I think I've said this on one of these podcasts maybe, but he was talking about like an octopus just absorbs the world in a way that we just don't understand.
That's
We're
why I
like,
try and absorb as much octopus.
I love calamari. I guess that's not octopus. That's like
squid,
just
dog.
squid,
This is
right?
squid.
But like motherfucker will like stick a tentacle. He's like, imagine imagine putting an arm into a dark room and like knowing what color the room is. He's like, that's how an octopus
Damn.
engages with the world. And I was like, that's fucking cool.
Don't they also have like different little brains for each tentacle?
I
And,
don't,
like,
I don't know.
personalities?
Maybe, but like
Personalities is an
they're
interesting
also-
choice for it. I
they
don't
have this
know.
like camouflaging like
Yes.
photo sensitive skin covering too. That's just like so fucking cool.
Do you realize you have like an octopus on your shirt right now?
I do.
Octopus have 9 brains.
I respect
Weird.
them.
Damn.
I respect 3 animals and only 3 animals.
Okay.
Their main brain is between the eyes, and it's shaped like a donut.
Wait,
That sounds
Jeff,
delicious.
I want you to guess one of the other animals Jeff Bacalar respects.
Well, so just a hint is that the dog, as much as I do have it probably on the Mount Rushmore, it's not part of the tribunal.
No,
So-
it can't be. You can't respect a dog. Of course
I mean,
not.
dogs are obviously a very superior animal, but yes, they're not on the...
Well,
on
cats
the
are
thing.
definitely not on this
Well,
list.
obviously,
No,
they're
definitely.
garbage animals. So, what's your guess?
So you want me to guess what other
Yeah, well,
animal
I
Jeff
think we just
Bacalar
went over
respects
the one
other
that
than
I think,
octopus?
right?
Yeah.
Other than octopus,
Something
it's 2
it's
more
gotta be
animals.
important.
Oh, okay. So it's important, and you respect it.
Okay.
Respect them so much
crow?
that like crow. Ooh, close.
Question. If an octopus, it's not just mammals then. Never mind. I take my question back.
Right. He doesn't have that mammalian pride that I have. I'm very problematic
Yeah.
with it. I
Yeah.
only respect
Yeah, yeah.
mammals.
The
Yeah.
the crow is up on the Mount Rushmore as well. It's on the dog's shoulder.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Cute.
Cool ass dog right there.
Yeah, it's a fucking dope dog. Yeah.
Okay. So is it a primate?
No,
You're an elephant guy, aren't you?
elephant is
Got
one
it!
of them.
Okay. Wow.
Let's go.
Mike's right. You have a lot of elephant energy. Yes.
Elephants are unbelievable. One more animal that you might not get. You were closer with the raven.
Yeah. Crows are cool. Crows
Crows
can
are
like
cool.
remember
What is
faces
it?
and stuff.
What is it?
So one more. Is it a bird?
Oh,
Yeah.
you have another one?
It's a
Yeah,
bird.
there's 3.
Oh,
There's one
okay.
more.
There's octopus,
There's another
elephants.
The octopus, the elephant, and the
Man, this is like ground, water.
owl.
Oh.
Mikey
It's owl?
got 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Oh my God, we're
you're on the
down!
Bacalar wavelength.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh my god.
Yo, I'm nocturnal. Let's go. No sunshine when the owl's out.
The brain wavelengths right now are incredible.
That's
Just
The
like
octopus, the
East
owl, the
Coast
elephant.
proximity is magical.
I think it's the like you guys are definitely on the same complainer whiner like spectrum.
Yes. It's
Owls
it-
complain? What do you mean?
No, just no. I'm not talking about the
Owls
animals.
are
Are
just me
just
and
you
you.
two.
No, Mike and I.
It's like the DNA strands, like the helix. You
The
guys are
double
like
helix,
the sides of the helix.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, totally.
Just
Yeah.
like mirroring each other and throwing
Yeah,
owls.
and owls, elephants, and octopuses are the ladder strums.
Dude, I will have a problematic friendship with you forever. Please.
Why is it problematic?
Because it has to be.
Yeah, come on.
It just has to be.
Okay.
Look, we're
All
gonna
right,
get to
all right.
fights at bars with the band and stuff. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
I was gonna say I've been feeling a lot of frustration, so I thought I've heard people say getting your like punching your feelings doesn't help, or like screaming doesn't help. So you know what I started doing? Started working out and lifting weights.
Yeah,
Turns
that
out-
is literally the only thing that helps me.
Turns out it does make you feel better. So if any, we emboldened the disc golf community that follows this podcast in such a major way, where every other day for shoot, we will get a different email about disc golf and
Wow.
disc golf related tips that, the weightlifting community, the gym rat community out there that listens to any of these fine programs, please holler at your boy. Send me a proper routine so I'm maximizing my time, because I'm just doing curls, and then I learned about hammer crap, and then tricep cable stuff, and then
Yeah, do you do
kickbacks.
the no money, like, oh, I don't have any money, so you're like lifting the weights out here so the curls
Yep.
like hit these outside parts. Yeah.
And then like someone was like, yeah, just hold one out the whole time while you're doing curls and then switch them out. I'm like, this sounds fucked up. My arms hurt, guys.
Mm.
And then
We're
like
gonna get you Jan Oswola. It's gonna be awesome.
There it is. Yeah.
Dan and I were talking about this, but like, what if I just got fucking ripped like Roman
That'd be
Reigns?
cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were. I thought you were ripped. Are you not?
No, definitely not. It's nowhere near a six pack. It is more of like a meager
Pack.
keg that you
Yeah.
bring to a college party.
Yeah, but those have more beer.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to have as much beer, dog. I'm trying to like
I got you.
trying to have like the show muscles, just
Joe,
all that stuff. I just want
I
to
like that.
I just want to roll up to the next live event. Probably not this live event coming up, which tickets are now available June 9th at the Bellwether. Watch Giant Bomb at Night,
Yeah.
hosted by Jeff Grubb. We're going to have a lot of fine, lovely friends of the website and some special guests.
Hell yeah.
I'm also told I still can't go through a table. We need a stunt coordinator. Whatever, Emma.
Man.
I'll get certified.
It's probably that easy, right?
I
Just
think
watch
so.
the Ryan Gosling movie. You'll be fine.
It's like being able to officiate a wedding. I think I just send in a letter somewhere, and they, college certifies me.
But give me the routines. Show me what to do. Tell me what to do so I maximize these gains. I'm ready to like roll up to a live show and drench myself in water the whole time and go ooh ah, and then just point at the sky, asking everyone to acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Okay. I think.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic.
I've just been forced to think this way the last 4 years or so. You can do the math why that's the case, but I feel like I always have to imagine the path that I wind up in prison over something that you all decide to do.
Sure.
And I feel like there's a non-zero chance every time we go out in public and put on one of these things that there's a non-zero chance that I
just
wind
because
up
Jan went
spending the
ooh
night.
ah.
No, because it's gonna go through a table.
Go through
and,
a table,
Oh, I
and
thought
then
we just
I'm
talked
somehow-
about
on
that.
stage.
Okay, yeah.
and then
yeah,
I'm
sure.
somehow on the hook. Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I will
think,
be
if I-
signing your name to the certificate. So yes,
Like,
you were right
you-
to be worried about that.
Imagine
you're
the
listed.
incredible photo montage that Lucy will make when you go to jail, though.
Yeah.
I'm still
Turns
not
out it's
over
already
that.
done.
You
still
know,
not over that.
we can use GIFs as like the thumbnail on the front page. Maybe I'll turn Lucy's video into a GIF so we get a full montage of Bacalar.
I'm gonna
still
buy a
don't-
Bowflex.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
yeah.
the Bowflex person lives near me. They have a weird estate.
Okay.
Yeah, they got very rich off of
Can you
Bowflex.
get me one?
Well, and they have no, but we can maybe sneak into their estate. My buddy had to go film the trophy wife's rose garden there one time, so it was very weird.
Grub, I think they
okay.
make better versions of the Bowflex now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a used one off Facebook Marketplace.
But I think Nordic is like a brand or whatever.
Yeah,
Track?
Nordic Track, and then
Track?
Nordic
Yeah.
has other stuff. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you should. I thought the trendy thing was that rugged stuff. Like you get a sledgehammer and you attack a giant wheel.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
have all that stuff, but I
That's
want something
what I want.
compact that I can keep in my basement.
Imagine in your mind's eye, right? Because I feel like it just takes one of us to get really into working out. That'll inspire the rest of us. And then what if us four plus Dan, let's throw in, I don't know, let's throw Tam into this too, right? If we all get yoked and then we roll it to places and then people are like, damn, is that Swole Team 6? Holy shit. That's what I want. I want us to be as buff as Paris.
If you get if people send you a workout routine,
one thing.
put it in compadres, and I'll do it.
Done.
Cool.
Done.
I commit to do it every day until as much as it recommends up until SGF. And we'll see how swell I get.
Wow.
Also, I had a spat with my partner. I don't want to air our dirty laundry here.
Was it the roid rage?
No, it's not the right range. We're not on the gas yet, brother. I think she may have lost my jump rope. I think she may have lost my fancy
shoot.
jump rope.
Wait, what?
I had Bacalar. I brought this up on an early episode. It was probably early pandemic days.
Okay.
But I bought
Okay. Yeah, I
I
remember.
bought a stupid expensive jump rope with
Right.
fucking the best bearings in the biz, and it was weighted. And now it might be gone.
Oh,
Anyway, enough playing games with our possessions and our hearts and our bodies.
We'll get you a new jump rope, buddy. It's okay.
It was expensive, Mike.
I'm gonna get you a skip it. Remember
Okay,
those
wait.
things?
Oh hell
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry to ask. How expensive is an expensive jump rope?
$120.
That's a lot.
That's a
Yeah, but ball bearings, guys. Come on, it's all about ball
The
bearings these days.
smoothest jumping ever.
They were golden ball bearings.
Well, the more money you spend, the better fit you get.
That's right.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
That's how I will do well. Speaking about it looks like
Oh Jesus.
I said I wouldn't do it to you, Grub. I feel like Mikey would start
No, we
whining.
got it. We got it. It's
Mikey
fine.
might
I
start
like it.
whining if we don't talk about some video games. Animal. Well, Chef Grub, you've played this.
Yeah,
We talked about this
beat it?
last week.
credits.
You beat it.
Credits. Oh, you beat it. Yeah, I got credits, and then I've continued to play afterward. I've got at least one of the late game items that you don't necessarily need to get credits. Actually, I think I got I got 2 of those now, actually. Won't spoil any of that stuff. I think that stuff is pretty interesting. I like the game. This is what happened here, whereas like multiple people came to me like, you're going to love this. And I'm like, okay, this must be like specifically targeted at me. And I think in theory it really is. But I finished it and was like, okay. Like it's really good, but it wasn't some like religious experience or anything like that. And I think it really comes down to, I think it's a good Metroidvania and a good puzzle game. I don't think it's necessarily a great Metroidvania or a great puzzle game, because I spend so much of my time like lost in the world trying to find the puzzles, and then I get to a puzzle and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a great puzzle, and there's like 1.5 of them, 2 puzzles there, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to spend a good amount of time searching for another group of puzzles, and hopefully those are good as well. And then when you're actually like looking around for stuff, it's like things don't change up that much in the way they might in a Metroidvania game. So it's like this peanut butter and jelly is pretty good together. It just wasn't mind blowing, and I think I was really hoping it would be. That's all.
Was it the expectation that people were propping this up on, or was there like a different element of like
I'm
a
sure it can't
Metroidvania?
be. You couldn't detach the sort of
The expectations did not help
around it.
100%. Yes, and I mean it's not just people coming up to me. It's also like the review scores. It's in the 90s, right?
Sure.
But that's nothing. None of that's to say I don't really like it. I really do like it. I would probably like give it like a 4 out of 5.
Sure, that sounds right.
Really enjoyable experience. I think that getting to credits and then having that opportunity to be like, okay, I experienced this and put it down. That's nice. There was like that period after that moment where I'm like, I should keep seeing this, and just like not really feeling like I had that. This is why it's not necessarily a great Metroidvania to me. I never felt like I have this thing pulling me forward. Like, okay, there's this and this and this to do. You can like maybe figure that out now that you have that and that and that. It's like, there is that one thing. I suppose maybe I'll stumble on the solution for that at some point. And that's, to me, that's just not going to fit with my brain all that well. So I had to like get over that hump near the end. And I was playing this without any guides, without talking to anybody. So I was kind of like solo. And maybe that doesn't help. I think if anyone starts playing this game and they end up feeling like me, maybe get into a Discord and talk to people. I bet that would actually aid the experience. And to fully beat this game, as I understand it, you have to do that. That's like for a very certain kind of player.
Yeah, I saw the Nasty Boys chatting about this on the internet, and it looked like Vitelli, Carson, and company were mind mapping together about Animal Well.
Yes, and I think if you're in that mode, there's a lot to mine here.
Yeah. What was your total playtime, you think?
To get to credits, it was probably like 8 hours.
Okay.
Ish. Maybe a little bit less. And then I've continued to play, and it's probably around like 10, 11. I probably put another 3 hours in there. And I got the thing that excavates. I got another thing that kind of does another thing that like changes things. It's that stuff. It's cool, but it's I get these items and I go do the one thing I know that they can interact with, or the couple things that they can interact with. And it's like these sections aren't that elaborate. They don't go on for that long. And I feel like, oh man, I did all this searching. I just, maybe the equation isn't quite balanced for me. It's like so much searching and stumbling around blindly, and then you find something and it's like, I get through the puzzles pretty quick. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been as lost as you're sort of describing, and maybe the closer I get to the end game, I will start to see that stuff. I do think, I don't know, I've found that like in a lot of these Metroidvania games where there is a map, I'm able to kind of like see the gaps and be like, okay, I probably just have to go towards the spots I've just never like been to yet.
Yeah,
right?
and I definitely did a lot of that. There was I think reading the map was maybe a little bit difficult for me, and I think that's a me thing. I could see the gaps. I would go towards them. I could do that much.
Yeah.
But it was like, kind of quickly scanning and finding the gaps. There's no like zoom in and zoom out. There's just close or far away on the map.
Sure.
And a lot of it ends up like kind of blending together for me, so that wasn't helping. But it was like, remembering that, there's a guy there, and maybe now that I've done this thing, they've left, but where is that? And then that's like keeping that stuff in my brain. I'm bad at that as well. So I think part of these things is just problems with how I play games.
There's a couple, and I played like an hour of it, right? So like, Jess played a lot more of it than me. I think, Backlars played a lot more than me.
Yeah.
But like, what has elevated it in that first hour to where I kind of already am like, oh, I do think like this is something I am really into.
Huh.
Like the aesthetics are
The aesthetics are on point.
The game is gorgeous
It's
in a way
cool.
that really does elevate everything. Like just this really kind of spooky, damp.
Oh, it's
very
wet, baby.
damp,
Yeah.
right, and like all this like I love like pixels with good lighting, right?
Yes,
There's some
good lighting
amazing
and a lot of material on the pixels to make them
Right.
like reflect in
Yeah,
different ways.
and-
Like these
and-
pixels are wet. Yeah.
And a lot of details that like you kind of don't even see at the beginning. It's only until you're starting to like really stare at the thing where you're like, oh, they're doing like back and foreground reflections, and that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool.
Right, and as much as I like, Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, or Tales of Zenzel, like it is nice to play one of these where it's like, oh, you're just in some weird place. Why is there a statue of animals? Go follow this bunny or whatever, and then you like go another screen. There's just these cranes like looking for fish or something.
That's great. That stuff's great.
Yeah, the game is gorgeous, and that is helping a lot. At least so far, too. The items I've been getting have been really interesting. The bubble thing is awesome. Any kind of like unique sort of kind of platforming
It's a good
tool.
bubble, yeah.
Well, and you can kind of chain the bubbles to
Yes,
basically be
bubble chain
infinite
is-
height,
Right.
and you have to like kind of
You
jump
have to
and
time
then
it.
shoot the
It's
bubble.
a good skill based mechanic that really does. I think so. That's another thing. It's like people are comparing it to Tunic. So I'm like, okay, that means all these things I'm collecting are going to have secret things that the game's not going to explicitly tell you, and that's one of the things with the bubble, and that's all we'll say. So that's, we won't spoil any of the other ones. But it's like, okay, yeah. So I started doing that. It's like, yeah, that's cool. And now, and I think a lot of times I was like brute forcing my way through areas using like, decent platforming. And some of the times I felt like I was cheating myself a little bit because I'd get there and I'd find out later, oh, there was a more elegant, cool solution. And I just did the bashing my head against this, doing the kind of cheat. And it's cool. I'm glad that that's in there.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like, oh man, I'm not on this game's wavelength. I'm just missing it.
See, I kind of like that's like a different feeling for me in a Metroidvania where it's kind of like, oh, I feel naughty. Like I did kind of quote unquote cheat, right?
Yes.
Because I got really good at using this bubble. Maybe I got to a place I'm not supposed to be. And it's the sequence breaking kind
Sure.
of, right?
Yeah, and I like sequence breaking in a Metroid game. I think I'm just like, I'm here for the puzzles because that's like the main meat of the game.
Sure.
And sometimes I felt like I was just kind of bypassing them. So it's cool though. I wouldn't take that out if I were making this game for sure.
I mean, and you do. You like these kind of puzzle platformers a good deal, but like sometimes even I have like a hard time grasping like which ones you do like we're gonna talk about Braid later, and that's something I love, and you were always like okay with
Yeah,
Braid.
I haven't really spent much time with Braid. I've tried it a couple times and I didn't jive with it immediately.
But something like The Witness, that was like super up your alley.
Yeah, and that's like, hey, here are the puzzles. They're right in front of you. And what it does is like, and as always, fuck Jonathan Blow. Don't care. Don't like that guy. But the game's good. What it does is like it has so many puzzles back to back in one area that they can really build on the concept of like what you're solving in this particular group of puzzles. And this game, it's like, well, there's going to be one or two puzzles like that, and then we're going to have something else on the other side of the map and do one or two puzzles over there. And I don't know. It just didn't have that escalation of difficulty that I was looking for.
Sure.
So you hate it.
That's what
Really like it.
that's what I heard, Mike.
That's
really
what I
like it.
heard.
Yeah.
Really like this game.
Oh man. I don't know how to proceed further with this game. I'm about like an hour or so in as well, like Mike, but like the varying opinions, even though Grub is very positive on the game.
I think Grub's completely fair on his take. Yeah.
I think it's mostly just me. When I'm playing this, I'm like, I kept saying, if I were making this game, or if I was in like Donkey's shoes, like publishing this, being like, oh no, don't change any of this. And I'm like,
Sure.
I'm glad there are people out there with like different tastes, because this game is what it needs to be. I just, like I said, it was missing its wavelength slightly.
I enjoy that an indie game has been occupying the interwebs in a positive way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This and several other indie games that we're going to talk about in a hot sec. Last week we also chatted about another animal-based game. It looks like Mikey, you've also played it. Crow Country. I after UPF last week continued to play through this, and I bumped it down to the non-combat mode.
Okay.
And let me tell y'all at home, that does not spare you from the spooks.
Yeah.
You will still get a little jump scares, little tension bits. and you can still die. Or I'm just playing very poorly. But my opinion is still pretty similar to how it was on Friday, where I appreciate this game. I like it a lot. I like the look. I've gone past the hangups you and I, Grub, had of the characters not quite looking like how we would want them to in this world.
Yeah.
They're a little bit too
I think that's true. I
Duplo.
was like, this is fine. But
Yeah.
it was just the initial knee-jerk reaction.
I think I would have liked more polygons on them, like more harsher edges based
Sure.
off of like the rounded bits we get from them.
I was talking to Mike and Sean, who are like, they're actually going for like a Final Fantasy graphical style. And it's
Sure.
like, oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's like definitely like meeting Final Fantasy VII meets like Resident Evil 2.
Yes, I'm like
kind
that,
of where this is.
and that's exactly what that character looks like. And then a lot of the pre-rendered backgrounds, or like what we're trying to act as pre-rendered backgrounds. I don't know how the technology actually works, but looking at them like, oh yeah, that looks straight out of Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9.
There was a 2D or like isometric top-down Resident Evil clone that came out 2 years ago. What was that called?
Say it again. What's the description?
Isometric top-down like anime adjacent style RE game.
Yeah, it's I got
Signalis.
Signalis. Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Right.
Chad.
I bounced off of that very quickly, but like with this, for whatever reason, maybe it is how they're presenting the tone, and it is kind of like, haha, like we're referencing these things, and it's like a little bit tongue in cheeky in certain bits. I'm kind of glomming onto this more. That being said, this game is asking me personally, and again, this is a me case, like Grub with Animal Well. It's asking me to remember way too many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can help you a little bit because when you go to the safe rooms, that at least like has a book that collects all those tips and journal entries that you come across, right? So that's something. This is that one I am just about an hour in, but so far, again, very positive on it. But I've been like in a giant PS1 kick for a bit now. I played the original Resident Evil 1 maybe a year or so ago and had a great time with that. So like this is really scratching an itch for me. And I'm a sicko. I love like not just like emulating like the graphics or the style of gameplay. I do like that, even like some of that jank, right? Like the weird way you have to shoot in this game. I'm almost upset because when you use the D-pad, it's tank controls, but they make the analog stick analog controls.
Yeah.
And of course it's better. But part of me is like, I wish this wasn't here so that I had to use tank controls. I'm a sicko who kind of craves that. I can't just force myself to do it if I know the better options there. So I wish they took that temptation away from me.
I also wish they didn't let me control the camera and that it was just static scenes like Resident Evil 1.
Sure.
Yeah, that would help orientate yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because there are sometimes I'm in a corridor. I'm like, which way is north? Which way is where am I going exactly? Because it's a lot of hallways, right?
I hate that you put that idea of how I orient myself in games, Grub, because then I started thinking about it actually, then just like kind of like barraging through it like I normally do, and kind of developing that mental map. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, not bad.
No, it's cool.
It's really impressive though, like because it does look like those pre-rendered backgrounds from those games, but it's not.
Yeah.
You can move the camera around.
Yeah.
But like whenever it is still, it does look like one of those, and I do think that's really cool. I also appreciate, even more so than the actual old Resident Evil games, there's a big emphasis on the kind of puzzle solving. Like it's kind of like an old Sierra LucasArts adventure game. There was always a little bit of that in the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
But sometimes it was just like, hey, go get the diamond key and put it into the diamond holes, or get the ruby eye for this lion statue. And there's things of that ilk, but it's a bit more involved here, a bit more on the puzzle solvy side, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. It definitely does the like mildly cumbersome, you got to get this key to unlock that key, and then it'll give you this key to open that door.
Right.
But like the steps that it has you going through is the puzzles are more fun to solve and go through rather than just going on a fetch quest across the map. And it does have you going across the map like a fair amount. Like it'll do the thing where it's like, all right, here's these 3 doors. You're not going to be able to open these, but keep them in mind. Also, I do enjoy when I did have like the survival mode or the standard default difficulty mode on, of like going through an area and like, what is this? Why is there this big stick man here now? Why is there this big goopy red baby? And like a Resident Evil game, Silent Hill game, you can for the most part avoid all of them. Which if you're looking to avoid combat and keep that difficulty slider up, yeah, it still does that.
Although the game hinted that perhaps like in Resident Evil 1, where the zombies you don't kill early in the game become like those more dangerous zombies later, it like that might be a thing. So like it's like, oh, maybe you should kill them now before they become a much bigger problem. But it is classic survival horror in terms of resources are limited. You only have so many bullets. You sure you want to kill this zombie right now because there might be something more important you need to shoot later, and you're not gonna have the bullets then. And I always have fun juggling that kind of stuff. There's a lot. The stakes are always very high in these games, which makes me very mindful. It makes me very engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grub shouted this out during UPF and BCR last week, but if you're not super duper interested in checking out Crow Country because it's not your jam, at least look up the ads for this game that they've made because they resemble print ads from old video game magazines.
Oh, incredible.
Very well done.
It looks really great.
They 100%. I think I'm getting into it because it's not just emulating that PS1 graphical style. I think they're going for the whole shebang rather than just doing the PS1 horror style game because that's what this indie genre is all about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking to the animal theme, I checked out for a little bit. Little Kitty, Big City.
How's that?
Big city.
Aside
Backlar.
from like the
Yeah, good job pretending to be interested in a cat game.
No,
Backlar.
hey. Okay, when we watched that at the Nintendo Direct, I also acted interested, but I meant it.
Okay, all right. I believe you.
I'm not. It's fine. No, we can all. I can dislike cats in real life and simultaneously enjoy them in video games.
You are a huge Garfield, Mark.
I was trying to make a Garfield joke first. Shit.
Yeah. And also, like, I thought Stray was a video game, right? Like, that's fine.
Yeah, it sure was.
No one will deny that.
This cat propaganda game is working on me.
Oh no, you're a cat person.
I wouldn't completely go whole hog on
Sorry,
this yet.
Scout.
Scout trembling in his fur.
She's like, if I just learn how to meow, will that help?
No. Because every cat owner that wants you to think that they have a cool cat says, no. My cat acts just like a dog. And you're like, then why'd you not get a fucking dog?
No, I won't. I'll never say that.
Exactly.
I don't detest cats to the level that Jeff Backlar does.
I don't. I just think they should, be deleted.
I had my uncle had 3 cats growing up that I really enjoyed. R.I.P. Barry, and I forget the other 2 names.
Barry's a good name for a cat.
She was a chubby orange cat too.
Yeah.
But where I did not enjoy Stray because I thought this cat was on the verge of dying constantly. This is a fun kitty game where you are a little kitty in a big city. The opening is very well done. It makes me feel like they took inspiration from like a DreamWorks, like that Secret Life of Pets movie that the Minions people do.
Yeah, I never did the movie, but I went on the ride in Universal. It was very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure this game will remind you of the ride then, Mike.
Okay, good. It was a good ride. You get adopted at the end of it.
Oh, thank God. And this is more akin to like an Untitled Goose Game where you have an open area and you're just causing shenanigans as a kitty cat. I enjoy that one of your first early objectives is to knock over 10 pot planters. And how you do that is you just swipe away at them with the triggers. And I was like, oh, man, this is why people like cats, because they're little shits. And it
for sure.
it follows like the normal cat tropes of like, oh, the cat can't touch water or else it'll die. And like, oh, here's a tiny little space. Let's squeeze our little cat body through it. And, you're kind of organically finding the objectives or you're just foolsing around. Your sprint is just a zoomies button, which I think is very cute. Grub, I was thinking of the gimmicks the whole time. I think this would be a very good introduction to like really fine tuning, getting used to 3D controls and like spatial awareness.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
That's cool.
Because, big cat fans, my kids.
One of the abilities is like a cat leap, which is kind of like you're aiming the trajectory of your cat to traverse through gaps. And I don't know, it's really cute writing as well. Like you're talking to a crow at first. I tripped a gentleman and I stole his donut So I'm like, all right,
Wow.
cats are pretty cool. Because that dude looked like a tool anyway.
I was watching some people stream this Shadows of Force Minish, and it was very adorable. She was on a mission where she had to like find these baby ducklings, and like they were like in places like the laundromat, like one that was in like the spin cycle, and it was like, oh wee, and but then like when you recruit them, they don't just like follow you, they like march with you, and literally like the humans on the street like start like taking cell phone videos of it.
Oh, that's fun. That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it feels like a combination of Untitled Goose Game and like the kind of zaniness that would happen in a Katamari game of like, oh,
Okay.
we're just doing weird shit now,
That's fun.
and causing a ruckus. So I think like the gimmicks would really enjoy it. If you're a parent of a child that likes cats, I think your own gimmicks at home would really enjoy this.
Yeah. What were you playing on?
Switch, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay. My kid's very into her Switch right now. I'll just get it for that.
Oh, and now that you fixed the Switch Lite, it's like
Fix the Switch Lite, so she's been playing it every night.
easy
So yeah.
peasy. Might have another code for your grub.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Speaking about cats, the cats don't have mullets. Jeff
The
Backle.
cool ones do.
Is it? Are you having a party in the back and it's business up front? You're playing Mullet Mad Jack? What is this?
That's right. Yeah, business up front, party in the back.
Canadian Waterfall.
Exactly. Mullet Mad Jack. What a game. I think it trailered really well, as we all remember. And I'd been keeping my eye on this. I believe review embargoes lifted this morning. And we're here to talk about it. This is a very interesting first-person shooter game in a way that I didn't think it was going to be that. It reminded me of there was a wacky, like very colorful first-person game where
13?
Huh?
13, the comic book. Well, okay.
No. This is more recent, where like you were sort of like drop kicking everyone also. As well.
Yeah, like Crazy Legs. What was that one? Yeah.
Crazy Legs McGee was the name of that. No, this is a similar sort of style where you're doing like run
bastards.
Void Bastards was. What was that?
Was it the one?
Was
it a demo or was it definitely released?
I think this was a demo I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I know. It was a Devolver game or something.
Yeah, so this game has you basically going in like 30-second stage spurts where you can't...
Angerfoot?
What's that?
Angerfoot?
Yes, Angerfoot was that game. Yes, good job. Yep. Where you can't go 10 seconds without killing another enemy or the run is over.
Right.
And the aesthetic, the design of this is, it's speaking to me. It's pretty fun. It's very like, retro future, vaporwave, like harking back to the 80s sort of stuff. Great soundtrack, really good, really just good style. There's a sort of like fun little, overarching story about, the very dystopian capitalism and how like this future imagines a world where like robots are rulers and we, the robot slayers, are referred to as moderators, and like there's just a lot of fun
Shout
stuff.
out to the mods.
And it's not and it's like not in a way where you're sort of like eye rolly. I just have smirking throughout the whole sort of time. But it's fun. I think it really is really the loop is very interesting. It's a lot. So as someone who like, I don't know, doesn't want to sort of like deal with too much intense stuff.
I think you picked the wrong game.
Well, so like here's the thing. You can play this game the way in the normal mode, and then you're in trouble. Like the first 10 stages you'll get through and you'll sort of be like, you know what, my hands are twitching. I think I need to like, it's like drinking way too much coffee, right? That's sort of how I felt after playing
like when
the
you
first
get
10.
primed out, right?
Exactly, and we can't have that. So then I lowered it down to like there's like sub levels in the difficulty level. So like there's an easy level where the time limit is 15 seconds. And it's a little bit more forgiving with the enemies, and I found that to be the real sweet spot where I can kind of like
dialed in. That's great.
Yeah, where like I can kind of treat it like an FPS that is grounded in reality and not this like hyper speed psycho sort of like fever dream thing that the default playthrough sort of stuff is like conditioned to have you do. So each chapter is 10 stages. You're climbing up this building as you make your way to rescuing the princess, and they kind of call her a princess and do a bit of the Mario shtick there too. And it's just fun, and it's I don't know if this is 100% true. I think it has to be. Some of it is procedurally generated, like these stages are.
Sure.
Like there's just I've played it enough where I'm like, this shit is not the same thing that I've seen before. There's just I don't know if it's that or like there's just so many different like ways through as well, because you can take 19 different paths. It seems like through each 30-second stage as you're clearing. So there you can pop through vents. There's like there's different sort of height levels where like, oh, I'm going to go along the top layer of this level. I'm going to go through a vent, or I'm going to go through the regular path. There's just a lot. After each floor that you clear, you're presented with 3 upgrades, and you choose an upgrade through all those. And then after you complete a chapter, which is 10 floors, you then get more of like a permanent upgrade. So you can say like, hey, after I beat this boss, I want to keep like the last upgrade I had from the last run I did. Just a lot of like fun stuff to keep it fresh. You those permanent upgrades are pretty powerful, and they really like have a substantial impact in how you're playing the game. I dig it. I think like there's it does a certain thing sort of well, and I would not play this with a controller. I would play this absolutely mouse and keyboard if you have the devices there. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think like I don't know how long I'll be sucked into this little world here, but I have found myself coming back to it a few times since opening it up.
I thought this game was like a boomer shooter, but watching gameplay, I wouldn't actually describe it that way.
No,
you know what it looks like? It looks like it looks like if there was an arcade game that appeared in an anime that takes place in the 80s, it would look like this.
I was going to say if Ghost Runner Tokyo just focused more on combat versus running around.
Right. And there's something about like trying to look like an arcade game too. I don't know. Yeah.
It looks great. It looks fun. The reviews are really good right now. And again, I'm only an hour into Animal Well, Crow Country. I haven't played nearly as much as Hades 2 as I want to. Yep. Oh my god! Like this looks like something else that is totally up my alley.
And I just went on Steam to get this game, and I'm like seeing there's this like weird looking open world exploration RPG game that just dropped. I'm like, I don't have time for all this stuff. What is going on here?
How dare these indie developers make banger?
Know your place, indie developers.
I don't want to go on record and like definitively declare it as procedural. I didn't do the research to find out if it is, but I will say this: if it's not procedural, it's like there's so much level variety that it like feels like it, right? Where you're positive. Right, which is positive. Where you're going through this thing, and it's cool. Like and you pick up, like I said, all these like temporary perks after each level. You'll pick up a thing where like, oh, environmental deaths will yield me 1 second more of life, and the whole gimmick is like, oh, you're live streaming, right? You're a robot killer who's live streaming, and like they just do. It's again, they do it in a way where I'm not mad. I'm not like actively angered by the presentation. I think it's pretty fucking cool. And again, I'm a sucker for like that music and all the trappings around that sort of presentational style. It's fucking cool. It's like
dripping style though.
It's so like I think that for me, like that's gonna give you bonus points. Yeah.
That's gonna. It seems very intentional. Also,
100%. It's gonna give you that little zhuzh that brings you from like a B+ to an A-. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like having like a great opening line in an essay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dark and stormy night.
So I'm on like the 5th level now. And I did lower the difficulty after level 2, and now I'm really enjoying it now that I can like be my age and play this game without flopping around. Like it is just really, it's a lot. Like when you get, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I have a large monitor in front of me, and I'm just like, is this fucked up? Should I not be like playing this so close? Like,
yeah, I wanna check this out.
But it's a little neon white vibe like, from it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think it's as like chaotic.
Or as movement based as that game is.
I think Neon White is not as chaotic as Molten. Like this looks
like digital. The anime thing was like it would be like something the character was playing, and the authorities would be like, "This is digital drugs. The youth are playing this video." That's what this looks like.
It's like if like a robot did LSD. Like it's
right. It looks like an anime music video.
Sure. all
Okay.
the stuff. You're playing the OP to an anime, right? Like you are doing that thing over and over again.
Very specific 80s or 90s anime aesthetic that
Yes,
I
think it
like better because
it crosses both decades for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's killing a robot with
Cassette
hentai or manga.
yeah.
Manga?
You can you choose like I really enjoyed the machine guns.
That's how I want to go.
There's a plasma gun too. Also, you get you pick up weapons as you traverse the levels, and then that allows you to do like one hit kills. It's dope.
Mr.
It looks
Backlar,
sweet. This looks so good.
how much of a boomer shooter is this? Are you aiming up or down?
I'm aiming. Yeah, I'm because
Okay,
I'm a
you're just not
headshot
just-
guy. I'm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it, got it, got
The only boomer shootery part of it is like the sprites are like they're like 2-dimensional.
Yeah, right. Like
Where,
the
like-
aesthetic again. I agree, Jeff. Like the more I look at this, I wouldn't classify this primarily as a boomer shooter.
No,
It's not like bolt gun.
this would kill a
Right.
boomer. Let's be honest. This would
Right.
kill
Oh,
a boomer.
yes.
A boomer.
Yes.
A boomer would see this and like just go into a coma. I
Right.
think.
Like Quake is very fast, and this is like, yeah, this is fast like Quake, but everything else happening on top of it is kind of not what boomer shooters are about.
Yeah, it's exactly this. It's like Proteus is a boomer shooter.
Right.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the wrong picture. Damn it.
So yeah, I'm a fan. Go check this out. I don't know how much it is on Steam, but I believe it comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's out tomorrow. There is a demo on there right now if people want to go try it before they buy it. Like that's still on Steam.
Yeah,
I might
it's-
seek this out. We should stream this.
Yeah, it's
More
cool.
people
we
should
will.
see this. Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And it's very much my shit. And you're right, Jan. We are certainly entering what seems to be a bit of an indie kind of moment now, which is a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
fun.
they all
Oh,
bided their
gosh.
time and they are all going
Hardcore.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They let the AAAs have last year for the most part, and now here they are.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. I want to eventually circle back to Indica. It just had me
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
some type of way and reliving my Catholic guilt. I was like,
Oh
maybe
sure.
not right now, y'all. Maybe not right now. All right, Mikey, you have here. You've been celebrating a certain anniversary by picking up and playing the Braid Anniversary Edition.
Right. Stylized in the title is Braid, Anniversary Edition, which drove me crazy writing the review for this. I really liked Braid back when it came out on like Xbox 360 Live Arcade. At least for me, that was kind of like this watershed moment of just like, oh, these like indie games that I'm just downloading digitally could be my game of the year, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it kind of changed the
Oh,
way that I thought about those forever. Like this was one of the first big ones where it's like, oh, it's like a 90 average, and it is getting talked about like that. And so much of that was like the fun puzzle design, and it was subversive, and it was very pretty, in all this stuff. And like maybe it was a little obnoxious and like a bit up its own butt sometimes. But I like a lot of stupid things, right?
Right.
So
You have your one pretentious thing. It's okay.
That's why
if
you
something
like
wants
us
to
so
go
much.
the other way a little bit. Exactly. You guys are so pretentious.
and stupid.
Yeah. So and I've been like wanting to replay this basically since I got my Switch and all these indie games are coming out. I was like, Braid will be here eventually. They announced this anniversary edition in 2020, then it went silent forever and is only now finally out. I was beginning to worry it would never come, but it's here, and I still love Braid a lot. There's just something about this specific kind of time rewinding gameplay, and it's not just that, right? It's not just you rewind. There's like 6 worlds or so, and each world has a different twist on that. There's the one world where time only moves forward when you walk to the right. If you walk to the
Right.
left, then it begins rewinding. So
Right.
there's a lot of fun things with that. And then in this anniversary edition, there are like updated visuals and audio, and you could do the thing where you can just click like left stick in or something like that, and you switch between the two. So, and I always appreciate being able to have the old one. And it's not like some dramatic change, right? But it is like a bit more higher detail, and there is like some new stuff there. What's interesting is there is a commentary mode, and the way
Ooh.
it's implemented is you can just kind of go to like this separate world that's the commentary world, and there's all these doors, and like the hub area for all these doors that take you to the different commentary spots, like those also have puzzles in them now. So there's basically kind of some new levels. And I mean, it's extensive stuff. It's it's from Jonathan Blow, but a lot of other people too. And like really learning there, like what was done for this anniversary edition, like from the sound design, right? because Braid famously just had all these sort of licensed tracks, right?
Mhm.
And they would do things like replay this like one song from World 1 and World 6. And this like music designer, the sound designer was explaining like, well, that doesn't really fit the mood anymore this late in the game because everything else is darker. So we did all this stuff to like, still use that track. And we kind of had to pull things from it because we didn't have original files. But this is how we were able to engineer that and make it different. And look, we'll play samples for you right now. And sometimes like in the top right screen, we'll play a video like showing you what exactly it's talking about. There is also a way to just play through the game with like the commentary showing up as you play through, and it says it's not as extensive, it's not everything that way, but you can still get like a good chunk of it just in a playthrough. So we see some other games that have had neat commentary modes like Portal,
Right.
some of those Double Fine remasters like Grim Fandango. This is just another really cool example of that.
I want more of those. Is there a specific game y'all would seek that out in, like in a heartbeat?
I mean, I think if they did it like Super Mario Brothers 1 or something, like some of those people still just work at Nintendo. I think that'd be very interesting.
I'd be interested in like an OG like Pokemon Red and Blue one.
Sure.
Yeah. I did just download the LlamaSoft thing from the guys that have been doing the documentary video games like Atari 50 and all that stuff. They did a LlamaSoft one with Jeff Minter, and I was like, yeah, man, I hope they get to like build this up and do that with a lot of others like bigger studios here pretty soon. I'm glad what they've done so far. It's been really great. Those things have all ruled, so I hope we get a lot more.
I can't say that I want to circle back to Braid, but maybe because you sound so high on it, Mikey.
Well, but yeah, I was always high on it, right? So I
Sure.
don't think it's gonna. If you played Braid back in the day and it wasn't your thing, this isn't gonna somehow change your mind. But
Okay.
for the Braid freaks like me, it's a great reason to go back to it. And if it's something you haven't experienced before, yeah, here it is again. I mean, it is funny because I kind of forgot, like, oh yeah, this is like short. I don't usually care about that, and I still don't. But it is like, oh yeah, like back then, all these games were like a couple hours long. Of course, there was
They had to be like
file
50
size
megabytes.
limits
Yeah.
on Xbox Live Arcade, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy.
damn.
Yep.
Continuing the indie hype, I've yet to check this out. It's still on my radar. I want to put on other people's radars because it sounds pretty dang good. I still don't know how to pronounce it. 1,000 resist, 1,000 X resist, 1,000 cross resist. Still don't.
I would just say 1,000 X resist.
Okay.
I'm sure it's wrong.
I see more hype building around this game. Don't know what the hell it's about. It's in the front of the backlog to check out.
Yeah, I have it here. It's in my backlog. I don't know if it's at the front though. I got to play Doug Flutie's football and stuff like that, of course.
Of course.
Hey, we'll make things in the backlog. 1,000 X resist. That Crypt Master game. I want to play a lot more of that. That Typing of the Dead like.
Oh, that was the other indie game that came out
Yeah. Damn it.
Ruin Dog looks like it's trying to be like a isometric roguelike shooter thing. It looks really cool. Dread Delusion is that one I was talking a little bit ago. This is one that looks like it's trying to be a lo-fi Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
And it looks incredible.
There's also the DLC that came out for Vampire Survivors with guns that I want to check out. It's like Contra themed, right? Am I imagining that? Oh, man.
No, I think it is literally Contra themed. Yeah, there's a Contra. You're right. It's Contra, literally.
Contra DLC. Cool. Oh, boy.
Jimmy and Jimmy are here.
How dare
Wait,
they?
what?
But before we go to break, I booted up another game, partially in preparation for shenanigans happening later in this week. Turns out, surprise, surprise, y'all, Elden Ring, still amazing as fuck.
How are you playing?
How's it running around in that?
Playing it on the Steam Deck now, and there's been a lot of work done to it to make it more accessible.
That's how I played 150 hours of that game on the Steam Deck when it launched, and it was good enough. But I know they've made a lot of improvements. I'm like, I can't wait to go back and play more.
And I had a couple drawbacks, like it hitch, it'd stutter occasionally, but now super duper smooth. I decided to start completely fresh from the beginning again. I'm still doing a samurai because the samurai save I had no idea where I was at and no idea what I was doing. And it was really scary where I was at. So I'm like, all right, I'll just start from the beginning. We'll start fresh. And I enjoy that now that this is similar to my experience with Bloodborne and Sekiro, where enough time has passed from the initial release where everyone else has done the work for me for the most optimum routes of like, all right, this is going to be an easier way to farm runes. I don't have to take up too much time here. Here's this exploit if you're in it. And also, I think, just a little bit better at games now, which is fantastic. Grub, I am curious to see how a seamless co-op mode would work in Elden Ring.
I mean, I think that was work that was done really early on. People have done it. So yeah, we're gonna hop in there. I'm excited to see how that's gonna go down.
I'm scared of the DLC, y'all. I'm scared of the Shadow of the Erd Tree.
I'm ready for it, but I know what you mean. I want it to take over my life. I want to get back in there.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% clear if you can bring in an existing character or like an endgame character, or I don't know what the optimum way to approach it is.
For the DLC?
For the DLC, yes.
You could bring in an old character.
You could definitely bring in your end game character.
I'm just gonna bring in I've only ever had one Elden Ring character, and that's what I beat it with. That's what I'm just gonna bring in there. Yeah.
I think the way it's gonna work is it's not gonna matter. I think once you enter the DLC area, it's going to set you where you need to be for the DLC area.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. For you only need a save that has Radin and Mog dead to access the expansion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's not too big of an ask with a new character.
Although, unless you're Kai Cenat, you see that he's been streaming Elden Ring.
And
he fought like Radon like 500 times over the course of several days.
Who is that?
Kai Cenat is like a big streamer.
He caused a riot in Times Square when he gave away a PS5.
I've been feeling unhip with it. My brother was trying to tell me who somebody was yesterday, and I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh, they're related to this person." I'm like, "Who?" "Oh, they're friends with that person." I was like, "What?" This like went on for like 3 more layers. I didn't know anybody, and I was
Can you remember any of the names or the sounds?
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's helpful for this story.
Maybe Walter Goggins was one of them, or Walton Goggins.
Okay.
Knowing Walton Goggins would not make you hip.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
it might
depends on what.
Walter Goggins is great. I love Walter Goggins, but he's an old man actor. Like
the fact I didn't know who Walter Goggins is did not help.
Of course, but I do think the Gogs has like a bit of contemporary momentum.
Sure.
They're calling him the Gogs, Jeff. Of course, I'm.
Listen. Yes, they. Us.
Yeah, we should sell a Gogs shirt, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Only if it also has Ty from Digimon.
Of course.
Yeah,
See, now I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's making a reference.
Don't worry, Digimon Season 1, let's go!
Y'all complete each other. Don't worry.
It's true.
We're
going
to
compliment each other.
I had mostly avoided Kai Cenat, not because of any ill will or whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I came across, I've seen him on plenty of things, it turns out.
Sure, you'd recognize him, of course.
Yeah. And of course, that story where he caused a riot inadvertently or advertently. And
oh my God, the coverage of that was chef's kiss of just like boomers not understanding anything about anything. It was pretty great.
Not understanding squat. But I came across him because of this whole Drake and Kendrick beef and just seeing the plethora of reactions across the internet.
Thinking about things that make me feel unhip.
And let me tell you, when we were at peak beef, it made Twitter fun again.
Yeah, for sure. It distracted from everything else in a lot of good ways.
And then I remembered, Twitter is a fucking garbage fire.
Yeah, and then it reverted right back to the shit show it is.
I was having a bad time today finding some like popular lady streamer complaining to Riot Games because they were playing Valorant and somebody told them to go, we're going to, sexually assault you with a less kind way. And she's like, this is bad. And a lot of the blue checkmark replies was, you're weak for being triggered by a word. I was like, oh, great.
Oh, my God.
It's like 5,000 likes on that. Oh, really? Okay.
We'll tell stories to our grandchildren about, like, when something was happening in the news, you could click a thing and be like, oh, I can trust what I'm seeing just by doing that.
Uh-huh.
Like, what? Really? Yeah, it used to be like that.
Speaking about the news.
Guess I'll die now.
Where have you gone, Walter Cronkite?
I thought you were going to say Goggins. Speaking about the news, we'll get to the news right after this quick bricky break.
And rather to...
drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you wanna drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you need it. Drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you wanna drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you need it. Drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you wanna drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you need it. Drop it. Put your hands up, 'cause you wanna drop
I'm here to announce that we are starting a GoFundMe, and not an actual GoFundMe. It's more of a help Jan understand tariffs and buying things overseas.
I can help you understand tariffs. Anything you want to know.
Thank you, Grub.
I'm here for you. You just pay. Just everyone just Venmo me that money instead, and I'll explain it to him.
Because your boy just wants a key truck. These things are so cute. Imagine me rolling up to your local farmer's market, Bay Area citizens, and then I pop up with like a little coffee cart. I'm making a cup of coffee in my little truck. And then Scout's there.
Coffee in the morning.
Cup of coffee in the small truck.
Cup of coffee in the tiny truck.
That's awesome.
I forgot to tell you guys, I flooded my bathroom this morning.
Why? Why'd you do that?
Yeah, that was a dumb thing. I would just not have done that.
A poop duck or something?
No,
what was that called?
no. I don't know. I get in there, I brush my teethies, and then like I go in the shower,
Right,
and
okay.
I'm just listening to one song from the Persona 3 soundtrack on repeat.
And you did it. You threw the poop in the toilet, and you flushed it.
As
You
you
weren't
do.
looking.
So then, like, I turned the shower off, and I still hear running water. I'm like, well, that's weird. Then I look at my sink, like, oh, I never turned that off. But also the sink's overflowing because that drains pretty slow, and there's just water everywhere. So
You
yeah.
left the sink on?
I left the
That's
sink
how it
on
happened?
while I took a pretty long, luxurious shower.
He was thinking about
have a
Donald Duck, Bacalar. You understand?
No.
Did you have a
Sadly-
moment from Paddington 1 where you accidentally filled up the bathroom with the sink?
Or from Super Mario Brothers, where they filled up the entire shower?
No, it didn't become a pool in there. I couldn't swim through it.
That is like, I'm sorry, Mike. I know you complete me and all, but like,
Go, give it to me. I can take it. Don't worry. Let's go.
that
That's
is
fine.
just so brain dead. Like,
I know.
what?
Okay,
What?
so look, I
That is like a Jeff Grubb move, Mike, and I think that's the harshest thing I could say to you.
Wait, really? What do you mean a Jeff
I wouldn't.
Grubb
I
move?
just like absent-mindedness. I wouldn't do that.
What? Am I
haven't done that.
surrounded
But
by
I'm
complete Neanderthals? Like, what is
Yes.
happening?
look.
Yes,
I
you're
am
just catching on.
What?
not a morning person at all. I
Wait,
usually
no. No.
Yes.
You don't get the
I thought you were going to
no.
slip that one past the mic. I thought you were going to
no.
say that was it.
Objection. Objection.
No, I don't work. Like, I mean
You
that
don't
in multiple
work?
ways.
What do you mean?
I
Barely
mean
does
that in
work.
multiple ways before 10 a.m.
Your Honor,
I just
Your Honor.
don't
Disagree,
work.
I'm
disagree,
not a
disagree,
morning
disagree.
person. Your
What?
Honor.
Disagree,
Get the
disagree.
Yeah, like seriously, even after, because I had to get up for the broken wrist appointment, then even after that, I was like, oh, well, at least I could get McDonald's breakfast. The only good thing about waking up early.
Oh my
And
God.
even that I messed up because I tried to order with my window up. Like, again, I should not be trusted
Mike,
before noon.
I'm
just
thinking
shouldn't.
about adopting you.
Help me, take care of me.
Asana mama, please.
Look, I need another cub.
Sir, I am completely useless in the morning. It is
Like,
100% true. I should
just-
not be trusted.
Could you just imagine getting pulled over for something driving reckless and just like it's 9:30 a.m. Officer, I'm not a morning
I
person.
just wanted a McMuffin. I am not a morning
They should
person.
understand, to be honest. God, McMuffins are so good, though.
So
They are good. You're right.
Yeah.
So you flooded your bathroom because you left the faucet on?
I just left the sink faucet on, apparently.
How
I was
flooded?
as surprised as you. Trust me. I was like, how did I do that?
Was it like
That's
an inch
weird.
of water on the floor or what?
Yeah, there's a lot. And
An
I just
inch?
got like a new shower, like a floor mat there too, and it was just completely drenched. I have another pretty old floor mat. I'm going to get rid of it soon. It looks like a Star Trek teleporter pad because
That's
my
fine.
shower curtain looks like the Star Trek teleporter room. The
I'm
ladies
sure it
love
does.
that one.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure
yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Where is this bathroom on the first floor? Like, what?
Oh yeah, first floor.
And do you have a basement? Did it like go into the basement?
No, but when I first moved in, I had those problems. That's a different story.
So where did the water go? It just sort of held in place.
It wasn't that much. It wasn't like insane. Most of it got absorbed by that new floor mat. It's a good thing I got
Thankfully.
it. Then I just threw some other towels on there and kind of left the fan on. And I had to go to my appointment. I was going to be late, so kind of got back and took care of the rest of it.
Can you reenact the noise that came out of your mouth when you realized what had happened?
Huh?
Like,
Oh, a miniature Tim Allen. Okay.
oh,
What, I
it was
I
that?
didn't scream.
You go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh,
I don't know
like-
why I'm imagining you're like wrapped up in a towel, but you also have like a head towel wrapped as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Inexplicably.
It was first like, how did I do that? Then it was like, oh wait, there's a problem I need to deal with.
Oh man, I'm
Yes.
sorry you did that, but it is so
I just
stupid.
can't believe it's not what I led with this morning because my wrist is broken also, I guess.
Yeah.
I had a busy day. I
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
how many things have already happened to me and it's like not even 2 yet. I don't like getting up early. It's too eventful.
Well, you're not a morning person. I
Yeah,
always say this about you.
When I DM'd you this morning, Mike, I was like, Mike's not awake yet. This is gonna be a
You're
fool's
right, I was ready
errand.
to go. You're lucky I was ready to go. It's but yeah, I'm here now. I'm awake. My bathroom's drying as we speak. It's fine.
You're broken. You're wet. I'm glad you're still here though, Mike.
I'm still here. Oh, that song from Treasure Planet.
I was gonna say the Elton John song. I'm still standing.
I'm still standing.
I'm still standing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be from like Lion King.
Jeff Grubb.
Are you?
Noose.
Yep.
Just let him go. I already got a bed picked out for you, Mike.
Is it a race car too?
Yep.
Goddamn right it is.
Of course it
You
is.
sleep in a race car.
I sleep in a bed with my wife.
I sleep in a big bed.
All right, news. Let's start with this one that just got announced. The Monkey Island creator is making a game that looks a lot like classic Zelda. Ron Gilbert, the creator of the Monkey Island series, is working on a new untitled RPG set to be released in late 2024 or early 2025. The game is described as a blend of classic Zelda, Diablo, and Thimbleweed Park, which sounds promising. It features a top-down pixel art style reminiscent of classic Zelda titles. Looks, which classic Zelda title looks a lot like Link to the Past, I would say, in that range, but with like a Thimbleweed Park, a little sprinkle on top of that. Gilbert has shared screenshots of the game on his Mastodon account, which people still have, showcasing quaint houses, dungeons, spooky forest, and a cemetery. Eliza Black has recently joined the team as a quest designer, increasing Gilbert's chance of completing the game before losing interest, according to Gilbert. This looks really cool. Mike, you pointed this out to me. You're a Ron Gilbert fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the old point-and-click adventure games, but Ron Gilbert has done a lot of other stuff since then, and including a couple of action games. Death Spank and its sequel in like 2010. It's actually published by EA, which is weird to think. So he has some experience in this kind of game also, though I don't think that's going to be quite like Death Spank or anything. But, I was always curious what he was going to do next because, like, Return to Monkey Island, it could have been kind of like the closing chapter of a career, maybe. So I'm glad he's still doing.
And Thimbleweed Park did pretty well for him, I think.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, Thimbleweed Park was the game before Return to Monkey Island, which was him making sort of a new old school point and click adventure game. And that was a game that it came on Switch in 2017 or came a little bit later to Switch anyways. And it did very well on there because it was still at that time where wow, every indie game that comes to Switch just sells very well. So it succeeded at that. There's a part of me is like, oh, is he going to make a, new Maniac Mansion now that he did a new Monkey Island? Well, not yet at least, but that's okay because this new thing looks pretty cool.
All right. Next bit of news here. Sony names 2 PlayStation CEOs to replace Jim Ryan. That makes sense. It takes two men to stand in his shoes. Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced that Herman Holst, that's the thing. He's a centaur. And Hideaki Nishino as the new joint CEOs of the PlayStation business, replacing Jim Ryan. Holst, the former head of PlayStation Studios and before that Guerrilla Games, will lead the studio business group, while Nishino, ex-senior vice president of the Platform Experience Group, will head the Platform Business Group. Hiroki Totoki assumes the role of chairman of SIE. The duo aims to deepen engagement with existing users and expand experiences for new audiences. Totoki emphasizes the dynamic nature of the business and the leaders focused on delivering world-class products and services, blah, blah, blah. Mostly what this is that Herman Holst will oversee the studio still, but also will oversee the expansion of games into new realms and expanding where they are at on PC, and have to figure out what the future of that looks like. And then Nishino very much a business-minded person will oversee the platforms, and that doesn't just mean hardware, although at this moment in time, definitely primarily means PS5, but also means expanding like what they can do with what a PlayStation platform means. Not much else to say here. I think I like this strategy, though, the dual CEOs, because I think what we were talking about PlayStation a few weeks back about how do they replace Jim Ryan and what do they need. I think we were like saying, oh, it'd be good if they had a games person to help figure out these next couple of years because they need to figure out what games are going to look like. And they do have that in Herman Holst. And then they also have the business-minded person, which we are like, hey, either one or the other. Turns out you could do both. Does this strategy sound like it's going to work to you guys?
When I hear about dual CEOs, I think about when Blizzard tried to have dual CEOs after J. Allen Brack left.
Right.
It was Jen O'Neill, Mike Ybarra, and then very quickly it just became Mike Ybarra, right? Like that didn't work. I mean, it's a difficult thing because you kind of need to have like the final arbiter sometimes in these situations. And if they're maybe because they are very specific with which lane each of them is in, it could work. But I'm still skeptical. Like, there's like, what happens if there's something that for some reason technically is kind of falls under both their peer views and they disagree about it, right? Well, how does that get settled? And if kind of one person wins that argument, then well, there's the hierarchy of power kind of established right there, right?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm concerned about is like who is that definitive last line for a decision? Because I do like the focus of one being more business oriented and having to make specific calls. Maybe they could play this bad cop, good cop within PlayStation internally. Maybe Herman Holst is a more game focused one. I fear that we're going to get more Horizon games though.
I can guarantee that's going to happen.
Legit fear.
They're making that Horizon Lego set.
Yeah, what the hell?
According to rumors, and that sounds real. Yes.
Okay, well, at least it's a Lego set because when I read that, I think I skimmed it and I thought they were making like a Lego Horizon video game. I was like,
also,
that's fucked up.
That also might be happening.
Like not even like doing a work in how this website hates Horizon or anything. It's just like, is the Horizon audience this big that warrants all of this?
I guess I'm still skeptical. I don't know. People argue both ways. I guess based on their behavior towards that franchise, that we have to assume it must be important to them. I don't know, but I do think that this does like address Sony's two major challenges that are in front of them. Figuring out games is going to be a kind of troublesome right now, and having Herman Holst be in charge of that is great. But they also are a very successful business up to a point, and figuring out how to maximize their profits in this moment is also something they should be doing. And I think these two leaders can maybe tag team that. But Mike, you're right. Like they could definitely butt heads, and that could cause problems.
I wonder if in this environment would we get a weird thing like PSVR 2, right? Like would they have invested in this if there was this dual CEO approach of like, you know, someone saying like, we can sell a new thing to make more cash, and then maybe the other person being like, well, we have nothing on it, so it's just going to be a big sink all in all.
I think my question is like, how much leverage does Sony Corporation have over the PlayStation brand? Because the PSVR 2 definitely felt like something that was happening because of Sony, and the Bungie acquisition was, hey, no, we're a Sony studio, we're not a PlayStation studio. What does that look like going forward? I really don't know.
And like, would the PlayStation Portal be another Sony decision over a PlayStation decision?
I think it's, the hardware group at Sony like does like rise above PlayStation. I think they're like, hey, our hardware engineers need to be doing something. They're not making Walkman anymore. Or if they are, they're like little MP3 players. So yeah, I think that comes from Sony on a lot of occasions.
That hardware group has to absolutely be looking into like an actual portable PlayStation.
100%, yes.
Not a PlayStation portable, a portable PlayStation. It's
very different, yes.
Yeah. What I want to know is what do these two people think about Ridge Racer?
They're constantly thinking about Ridge Racer, of course. Yeah.
Making sure.
They'll probably, they'll probably call you up to consult on that eventually, Mike. So
should
keep your phone on ring instead of silent. All right, God of War Ragnarok will reportedly be announced for PC imminently. God of War Ragnarok, which was released for PS4 and PS5 in November 2022, has sold over 15 million copies, and it is reportedly set to be announced for PC soon. This information comes from reliable data miner Bill Kuhn, who anticipates a PC release for the game to be confirmed this month. Sony is planning to hold a PlayStation product showcase in May, according to many, including myself, and now a bunch of other people have said that as well. We'll probably see more from like Silent Hill 2 and a bunch of other stuff there as well. Yeah, God of War Ragnarok, that probably will come to PC. I guess I don't necessarily think that has to show up at a PlayStation showcase. That always feels like a weird thing. Like, hey, PC players can play this PlayStation game.
Right.
And PlayStation gamers are like, well, we don't care about that.
Will it
Right.
immediately get delisted in 200 plus countries and territories, though?
So, the last God of War game doesn't require a PSN account, so it doesn't sound like that would necessarily happen here. Is there any multiplayer mode in God of War Ragnarok?
I don't
So
think,
no.
because the big thing they
No.
added here was the roguelike mode.
Roguelike
Yeah,
mode.
Valhalla.
That's not
Yep.
online.
No.
Right. So hopefully they're able to avoid that with this.
The
We'll
roguelike
see.
mode rules, by the way. It's very good.
Yes, that's very
Very
good.
good
I love
story.
that.
That's exciting. I want to see, just Steam Deck implications and stuff like that.
For sure. Well, this
Yeah.
one ran really well on the Steam Deck.
Oh,
Well enough.
Valhalla on that joint would be so good.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good. Yeah, I mean, to speak to that, I didn't include that in the news necessarily, but yeah, there's been continued fallout from the delistings of PSN or PlayStation games on Steam. They reversed their decision on last Monday when it came to Helldivers 2. They still have actually not relisted that game in those countries and territories. Apparently, it's around 200 countries and regions, not just countries. And then since then, Ghost of Tsushima 2, which is going to launch here on Steam any moment, any day now. That has also now been delisted, and both companies have implied that the other one is doing it. When you ask, it's weird. Yeah, so a lot of fun there.
Maybe with two CEOs, they'll get to the bottom of it fast.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. That won't cause any more confusion.
Or it'll be like, no, the other CEO's working on that.
It's
Yep.
Herman's fault. It's Herman's fault.
Yeah, it's always Herman's fault. That's a it's always Herman.
Herman's Head. Yeah, it was about Herman Hulst. That's
Herman
right.
Munster, right?
And Herman Munster. Yeah, a lot of Hermans and sitcoms. You're right. Okay, let's see here. Moving on from Sony to a degree, Square Enix is struggling. A lot of headlines coming out of them since they reported their financial results. Let's start here. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, and Foam Stars all sold less than expected, Square Enix president says. 3 of Square Enix's recent releases, 7 Rebirth, 16, and Foam Stars, have underperformed sales expectations. As a result, the company now expects an operating income of around $255 million this financial year instead of the estimated $364 million. Final Fantasy 16 had initially met expectations but failed to maintain momentum, while Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Foam Stars did not meet internal targets from launch. Despite the underperformance, the company remains confident in 16's long-term success. Square Enix is also shifting to a multi-platform strategy. We'll talk about that more here in a second. This is confirmation of what we kind of been hearing rumbles about for a while. When we would look at the numbers and like Matt Piscatella would point out, hey, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sold less than 16, which sold less than previous Final Fantasy games. Square Enix is now, and that will be the continuing news stories here. They're in reboot mode, and in fact, that's what they're calling it: reboot and awaken SquareSoft.
Yeah, they gave it a
Square Enix.
subtitle.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is their business strategy. They kind of do need that, though, right? They kind of can't keep doing business as usual here, right? Things need to change.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a shakeup, and there's a lot of things that they're looking at. Again, the idea of just releasing your games on PlayStation. It's one thing when this is weird exclusivity deals. It was really weird with things like the Pixel remasters. Like, that took a year or two to come to the Switch. Obviously, the platform that those games are going to do the best for. And, it's not just a matter of you can just bring those things later and then you're going to catch up. Not necessarily. Like, we saw with, when games come much later to platforms, they can maybe make a splash, and of course it helps, but it's never as big as when it's their day and date on multiple platforms, right?
Yep.
So I think we saw that with Hi-Fi Rush, right? It came to PlayStation, right? And I think it did come to PlayStation. It was great, but I don't think it made some giant splash over there.
It didn't seem
Obviously
to.
not.
Yeah, not like
Obviously
Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Right. I think things might have been different if it did. I think it's a shame because I agree with the strategy at some point. Focus on your important franchises, like Final Fantasy. I guess we can't make things like a DioField Chronicles. It's a shame, obviously, because so fewer new things. But it's also a problem because, if we're focusing on big games, the other major problem in the industry right now is that making big games is harder than ever, and it takes longer than ever, and it's more expensive than ever. So okay, so you want to make big games. Well, how many games is Square Enix going to release anymore? And I think things that will pick up the slack will be more remakes and remasters. When I say remakes, I don't mean like Final Fantasy VII remake.
No,
which is
that's
just,
a
Yeah.
once in a lifetime thing that happened. Yeah.
that is never, clearly that's never happening again, because if they're not getting the return off of Final Fantasy VII with that like they hoped, there's no way they're going to kind of go to, I don't mean lesser Final Fantasies, but the ones that aren't Final Fantasy VII in terms of
Yeah.
kind of public mind share, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, that Final Fantasy IX remake, if that's still on the table, I think we're all kind of expecting that to be more of a one-to-one remake situation.
Yes, that's what I'm expecting from that as well. Square Enix had to get out ahead of this stuff because they had to anticipate that this was going to happen. Square Enix's share prices dropped 16% following its underwhelming financial results. The company's share price plummeted when the Tokyo Stock Exchange opened again after the results were released. The drop in price shows shareholder unease at recent financial results and plans for the next couple of years. Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu reportedly told analysts that that sales of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, and Phone Stars all fell short of expectations. The company also stated that profits were down 70% from the previous year, partly due to losses on the disposal of content. This is them also canceling games and confirming that they were going to do that, something they mentioned they might do a few weeks ago.
Right.
Square Enix's new strategy includes plans to aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy and revamp its internal development process. The company is also set to make a number of layoffs as part of ongoing company restructuring. So they're paring down, and they're going to stop making the PlayStation-only deals. And like you said, Mike, they're going to reinvest in bigger games and fewer games, so higher quality.
Right.
And yeah, I think that this is the kind of thing where, okay, yeah, you maybe you want to pare back so you can start fresh again, but Square Enix feels like it's kind of a long way away from figuring it out. Right now, it does feel like it's at rock bottom with some of the stuff.
Yeah, and with these the new games or the big games, like a Final Fantasy 17, whatever that is, I would make sure that runs on a Switch too.
Yep.
I would make sure it can come out on that also. I think you got to really start thinking about that. I bet a lot of these third-party publishers are kind of hoping that the thing will be beefy enough that the games that, like, obviously they want to look nice, like, and because they got to sell the Xbox and PlayStation trailers, but they want it to run well enough on a Switch too. They'll get a little reprieve here because there is a Final Fantasy 14 expansion coming out, whereas this last year, they were kind of in between that cycle there, so a little bit slower there. So Dawn Trail will give them a little bit of boost.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was gonna ask y'all, what do you think was the strategy behind releasing so many weird small titles of like varying degrees of quality? Because various
Shotgun
day life, yeah, I guess, or lack of strategy maybe, because like various day life, what was that? Balan Wonderworld,
Well,
and
because
like
Balan Wonderworld, that stuff's weird. It's just like, we're gonna invest in cast this really wide net, and I could see how maybe they're like, hey, yeah, everybody loved Knights, and look who's Yuji Naka's available. We'll have him make a new Knights for us, and instead you get a Balan Wonderworld, and clearly I don't think we're happy about that. But also it happened under their watch. But we did get things out of that, games that people really do like Octopath Traveler 2.
sure,
But that's like the problem. Octopath Traveler 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, even when people really like these games, they aren't finding the audiences that they deserve, right? And it kind of bums me out with Rebirth, which I absolutely love that game. It's like, what's the conversation that I'm having with that game more often than not? It's not about how much I love it. It's trying to figure out why it didn't sell more. It's like, I don't know. And there's a bunch of reasons we could figure out. And I like to hope once Part 3 is out, maybe then a lot more people are going to jump in when they release all three are here at once thing. And hey, maybe it's on Switch too. And that sure can help. But that's money in the future. And they need money now.
Yeah. So they're planning to put games out on Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PCs. So it really is like, okay, we are done doing the PlayStation only thing. And I think that's definitely part of the problem. I don't think it's the key issue here. They just somehow are not able to communicate. You know what I think the problem is? I think it's twofold. Yes, being on PlayStation only with some of these games is a problem. I think it's especially a problem because on PlayStation, that's like the one console where you could play Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. I think Honkai Star Rail is on PlayStation. If it's not, it will be. But Genshin Impact definitely is there. There's these free-to-play RPG and RPG adjacent games that I think suck up a lot of the oxygen from new audiences, and they're satiated. They don't feel a need to go spend $70 on part 2 of a 3-part series when it's like, there's all this content for me in these free games, and I'll just play that instead. I don't think Final Fantasy's found a way to convince that audience that they must have this game. So it's speaking to a lot of old heads who are showing up, but even them, some of them are like, I'll wait until the game is complete.
And I think you hit it 100%, Grub, because that same market are the folks that bought a PS5 for maybe the one game. Maybe they bought it to continue to play Call of Duty with their friends, or Harry Potter, or Spider-Man 2, and they're not necessarily attracted to go check out a 100-hour RPG, especially if the messaging that they're getting is, this isn't done yet. We're not there yet.
Right.
Yeah, but with 16, it's a little bit different. You could see why maybe the tail fell off on that one in last year, when, again, it was just that kind of onslaught stream of big games everybody's playing on, and the conversation seemed to move on from 16 relatively quickly once it came out. I don't know how many people have been going back to that, even though it's been getting DLC and stuff like that. And 16 was the kind of mission statement of 16 was to bring in new fans. They know that that's a problem. Maybe they swung a little so far that direction that it alienated some of the more, I don't know, traditional fans. It's hard to say. Like, part of me is like, I wish Final Fantasy would do more like the Persona thing, where they just kind of like, no, this is what we are and this is what we're good at. We're just gonna we'll attract new fans by continuing to be good at what we're doing, instead of each thing feeling like something kind of completely different or new or wild, like, you know, like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 kind of existing in these separate islands and coming out relatively close to each other. It's a little weird.
Mike, do you see the Final Fantasy 14 audience as, like, at this point, maybe a bunch of newer crop of Final Fantasy fans, or separately Square fans?
Oh, I think they're absolutely pulled in a lot from that. And, you know, I would have thought that 16 could have pulled them in because it was that team, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why I was specifically excited about it. And then I think a lot of, like, the 14 fans, when they played, it's like, oh, this isn't really what I was kind of expecting. Not that it's good or bad. I think people were a little surprised by what 16 actually was. So it's hard because MMO people can be MMO people, right?
Right.
And like, just like, what other game are they gonna play? Maybe like a Honkai Star Rail. I think literally yesterday I was seeing a giant Final Fantasy 14 streamer, and what was she playing when she wasn't playing 14? It was Honkai Star Rail, because some new story content came out for that.
Yep.
It's a difficult problem. You almost can't trust me, because I would if the problem is that Final Fantasy isn't relevant anymore, I would never admit that, because I would hate that in the future. So I'm gonna, even if it's true, I would never admit it. I don't think it is, anyways. I think Final Fantasy's fine. I think there's a lot that you can do there still, but maybe it's not the franchise where you make games that cost $100 million anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would need something else. It needs something else alongside that if you're going to do that, and it really needs to find its voice beyond being the big expensive RPG. Because I don't know how much that plays these days.
Like, they would never do this. But remember when, like, the new Dragon Quest game was just on the Nintendo DS?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just sold a ton and did very, very well.
Yep.
Like, there's like a part of me is like, hey, maybe Final Fantasy 17, even if it like has to be a smaller thing, definitely make that a Switch 2.
Yeah, no, you're right. The middle ground is at least make it run on the Switch.
Yeah.
Switch 2.
I was gonna ask, what is the budget on any of the more recent Dragon Quest games? It has to pale in comparison.
I'm sure they're
right?
big, but they're just pales in comparison.
Like 11 is like the last one. Yeah, like there's no way Dragon Quest 11 cost as much to make as a Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I mean, you know, again, maybe just because there's so many legacy people that they're paying, but I'd be shocked.
Yep, I'd be
pretty
shocked too.
Do you think that part of the why maybe the newer Final Fantasy games aren't, I don't know, finding their core audience or new audiences is the lack of simplicity when it comes to like something like Dragon Quest, which is a more, I don't know, maybe a more approachable RPG?
16 is simple in some ways. That's
Sure.
kind of one of the problems. But then 7 Rebirth has so many layers of issues when it comes to finding an audience. The big, like, one, only PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
2, it is kind of split up, and that throws people off. And then, like, it is just so much of a part 2 of a part 1, right? So it could only ever have been a fraction of that game's audience. They were never going to be, it was hard to grow, right? When it was like that. It's not like, with movies, like, oh, Two Towers sold more tickets than Fellowship of the Ring because so many people caught up on Fellowship of the Ring and DVD and rentals and things like that. We don't really have that equivalent for video games. It's only going to be the people who bought that game. Sure, there's maybe some people who picked it up on some subscription service or something like that, but that is just such a small fraction.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along here to the aftermath of the Xbox studio closures. At one point last week, Xbox President Sarah Bond discussed the decision to close 4 Bethesda studios, basically stating that they had to do that because the industry has been flat and Xbox wants to stay competitive. That's about as much as they really justified anything. A lot of people weren't too happy with that, but that's kind of all that they would give anyone. And they've been, as much as they have been out there, like she did this as part of a conversation that she had on stage with Bloomberg, they've been weirdly quiet since they've made these closures. So this is pretty much all they provided. The Xbox leadership team did reaffirm, though, that Microsoft's first-party games, including future Call of Duty titles, will be in Game Pass on launch day as part of the fallout of all this. There was a lot of reporting about them having conversations internally about maybe not doing that, maybe pulling back away from Game Pass in some ways. And it seems like they had that conversation, but they ended up deciding Call of Duty will be on Game Pass. So we'll see how they're able to talk about Xbox going forward. I think it's going to be real challenging because, what is the story of Xbox if it's, the console doesn't really matter. So, and it's like at that point, so many people stop listening because it's like, that's the story they tell themselves. I get this console to be in that ecosystem so I can get these games that I can only play here. And once that fades away, I think people are like, why does Xbox even take up space in my brain anymore?
Yeah, I'm curious as if maybe their presence around SGF time is just continuously waiting for that dust to settle from the major layoffs because they know more might be coming afterwards before they do their big major messaging.
Yeah, we know their showcase is happening on June 9th, and like that's basically it. I don't think they're gonna have another big shot here to announce things. So I think for better or worse, it's coming then. We're gonna hear about what's happening there for basically the next 12 months at that point. And look, like I don't know if they can completely undo everything with a good showcase, but there is always a short memory with people, and I think it might I don't want to say help because again it just seems like it seems disrespectful to a degree. I'm not shocked they're not saying much right now. There's really very little to say. When Sarah Bond attempted to say something, of course it just kind of sounded like a word salad.
Nothing.
Yeah, you have to dance around it, and it just makes everybody feel worse, basically. If you're not putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, that is basically giving up on Game Pass.
Yes, that's how I would read that. Is Game Pass is a failed experiment, and it'll be something off to the side, but it's not their main concern anymore, like it once was. So, Call of Duty needs to be in Game Pass.
Hey, look, there will be a Call of Duty next year, right? If for some reason you look at the numbers this year and it's like, oh wow, that really lost us a lot of money putting on Game Pass, then maybe you can reevaluate next year and just say, nope, that's not happening. If it means the end of Game Pass, oh well, that Call of Duty money is just so much more important. That may very well be the case.
Yep, we'll see. I think they need to they need to at least play it out, though. Right, I agree with that. All right, let's get to some other news. Assassin's Creed Shadows release date and DLC details have seemingly leaked. A leak has been revealed that includes information about the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows game, including its release date. For people who are, wait, what the hell is Assassin's Creed Shadows? This seems to be the official name for what was once called Assassin's Creed Red, the one that takes place in Japan and will be the first part of Assassin's Creed Infinite, which I believe is the name of the Assassin's Creed as a service.
What's that all mean?
No, we don't know. Honestly, I don't have an answer for you.
Because, it already seems to be, in the shadows more now, the whole Infinite framework behind all of this. It just feels like a new Assassin's Creed game. I don't know how it's any different.
Right. And
so there's a launcher like Fortnite. I don't know.
Right. Is that what it looks like? I think we still don't fully understand how they're going to present this. And honestly, since they first started talking about Assassin's Creed Infinite, they could have scaled a lot of that stuff back. We'll see. They will have a reveal of this game here coming up. Let's see. The May 15th will be the cinematic trailer. So that's tomorrow as we're recording this. And then we do have Ubisoft Forward happening around the time of SGF. I can't remember which day. Maybe that was Monday.
Yeah, it's around
Sounds
there.
right.
Yeah.
It's the 10th, I think. So if they have the cinematic trailer, they'll talk about it more then. And between these two reveals, we'll either understand how Assassin's Creed Infinite works, or they will hide Assassin's Creed Infinite in the background, and we'll still be like, what is going on here? They're just trying to sell us shadows. So it's strange. We have conversations internally sometime, like how important is Assassin's Creed Shadows? I don't think we can really know until people see it and say, this is the one I've been waiting for, or they're going back to the Assassin's Creed games that I like, or oh no, this is one of those. And one of those means different things to different people. Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, I really want the open world RPG sprawling massive game that takes 150 hours, or do I want the smaller focused one? I don't think this is the smaller focused one because we just got one of those. But still, we'll see how people end up feeling about it once it actually gets revealed a little bit.
We have that conversation every single time Assassin's Creed is about to come out or drop, though.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It's taken for granted, right? Because you know there's going to be another one.
Right, because it's like there's a certain point where I think in like the big mainstream media, we're like, you know what? When we write about Call of Duty, it seems like our audience doesn't really care.
Yeah,
you have to have those conversations about certain franchises. Like, how much does our audience care about Assassin's Creed? I'm sure some people do. It was weird because last year we had one, right? It was like we're going back to the old form with Mirage. This will probably be much more of that big, giant, open worldy one again now.
But I don't know the Assassin's Creed like actual freak. Like I don't know that person anymore.
Oh, his name's Will Ospreay. He's a wrestler for AEW. He has 2 Assassin's Creed tattoos.
Wasn't it once Vincenzo Caravella?
Yeah, Vinny likes the Assassin's Creed games.
Oh, I'm not saying these people didn't exist in yesteryear.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still as hot on
Rory
as he once
also
was.
liked Valhalla, I think.
You know who it is? Steven Totillo. He plays every single one. He plays them to completion. So
Yeah.
there you
To
go.
completion.
Well, not like that, Lord Jesus.
I just repeated the last 2 words you said, bud.
I also
That's
thought you
all
were
I
trying to be
did.
dirty.
I
yeah.
flooded my bathroom and said those 2 words. What do
That's
you
right.
want?
Incompletion.
No mornings.
Also, Bill Kuhn on Twitter just leaked that NCAA football 2025 will be revealed on Thursday. So today's
Okay.
Tuesday, so on the 16th. Okay, moving along. Red Dead Redemption could finally be coming to PC, according to a data mine. Rockstar Games might be gearing up to finally announce the PC port of Red Dead Redemption. A data miner found a reference to the game in the PC launcher from Rockstar Games, and it just says, "Hey, playable for the first time on PC. Get Red Dead Redemption." That's what the data in the app says.
Seems
So
pretty explicit.
it seems pretty clear that this is going to happen. Better late than never, right?
It's so weird how long that this took.
What? It's like 15 years. What's the problem?
It's like probably still Rockstar's best game ever. Not their biggest, but it was a big deal. Obviously, this could have made them a lot of money 10 years ago, 13 years ago. I'm sure it'll do fine now. I wonder what you sell that at this point. I wonder how much in the way of improvements we are going to get. And Red Dead Redemption 1, Grub likes this one at least.
Yeah,
right?
this is the one I enjoy playing. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll gladly replay this because it has been so long.
Step in front of a runaway
I'm going to say 50.
You think it's 50? I was going to say 40.
40 or 50.
I think this will be them trying to do a make good for the GTA trilogy that they did with like a lot of AI upscaling, and I think they'll be like, oh, that
There's
looks
less
like
signs
shit.
in the Old West ship
Yeah,
for the
good point.
AI to mess up
Yeah.
at least.
Have they
Made good on
said anything out loud in terms of quality of life stuff or anything like that?
No,
or-
they haven't even acknowledged
this
this thing
isn't even
publicly.
real. This
Oh,
is
they haven't.
just
Right, of course.
It's
This is
illegal,
talking about-
yeah.
yeah.
HTML lines or something.
Right. We'll see. We'll see how they present it. But it does sound like it's happening. And at the very least, people will finally be able to play this game on PC.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's something.
Sure.
It's been. I love the game. I haven't played it since the original. I don't know
Yeah,
if I'll
same.
play through it again, but I'd be interested to check it out.
I want to stick my toes in it. You know.
Yeah, get my little toesies wet.
Grub, why do you like the first one more than the second one?
Look, it is better.
It's a better game. Yeah.
I'm
okay.
a Red Dead Redemption 2 defender, and you're like, what's better?
Yeah, I enjoy the second one a lot. I think if I could put myself in the shoes of Dan Reichert and Jeff Grubb, which is the grossest sentence I've ever said out loud,
get
but
in there. They're
also
sweaty.
I think it's like correct me if I'm wrong. It's like where Red Dead 2 is sort of like rudderless. Red Dead 1 is not. Is that what you mean?
It also doesn't. It gets going a good deal faster. It's
Sure.
It's definitely obviously there's a lot of story and characters, but it's a more dewy game for them.
It's more dewy. Yes, that's what it is. It's more dewy, and it doesn't. My biggest issue when I think about Red Dead Redemption 2 is the game wants you to play it one way, its way, and it doesn't have any affinity for your desires as a player. And Red Dead Redemption 1 isn't as guilty as that as 2 is.
Okay.
Okay.
Amazon has greenlighted a Tomb Raider TV series from Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Amazon's Prime Video has ordered a Tomb Raider TV series based on the iconic video game franchise. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, known for Fleabag, and she was also in that Indiana Jones movie.
Indiana
Right?
Jones and the
Lost Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny.
There we go.
The DFD. The series follows the adventures of Lara Croft, a world-famous archaeologist and adventurer. Crystal Dynamics and Amazon MGM Studios are producing the show, which will premiere exclusively on Prime Video. This all sounds about right. Amazon already has a deal involved with Tomb Raider and a bunch of other ways. So they're like making a game, right? That they're involved in that.
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
happening.
familiar, yeah.
It is. I think Crystal Dynamics in them. So she's not playing Lara Croft, though.
I don't think so.
This is not how it's describing that. No, but she's also like she created Fleabag, a well-renowned
Fleabag's
show.
amazing.
And
Like,
she was
yes.
in an Indiana Jones movie, so it's like.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe she has an affinity for this kind of character. I was wondering that.
I was surprised when I read this. I was like, oh wow, that's I was more surprised that she was like driving it, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear her thoughts on Tomb Raider and whether
Yeah.
that's something that she likes.
Because it definitely feels like, at least to me, there's like a bit more of a desire for something to go not all the way to like those 90s games of that vibe, but something a little bit more.
Much closer, I think.
Something
Yeah.
a bit more, I don't know if whimsical is the word, but yeah, not quite as, all my friends
More
are dying and
adventure, less like gruesome realism.
Yeah, my thick thigh meat's getting impaled on this stick down this goo blood slide kind of stuff.
Yes.
What if they just take the name Tomb Raider and there's no Lara Croft?
I don't think that'd go over well.
So like the person's name is Tomb Raider?
No.
Mr. Tomb
I'm Tom
Raider.
Braider.
Tom Raider.
Tom Braider is not bad. That's the name of this podcast, I guess.
That's good.
No,
Stars the
Laura has to be there. What, like, come on.
Lara Croft is a hugely popular character
Yeah.
in
There's no
wider
way.
culture, actually.
What are we doing?
still.
How would this not be a
Hey,
thing?
who
Of
suggested
course.
this? Jan, how dare you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get back in the
make-
corner.
I'm in a corner. Studios make weird decisions all the time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Well, I think what we'll see is Phoebe Waller-Bridge come in here and kind of make like what is actually just the Indiana Jones of Tomb Raider games, or Tomb Raider shows, excuse me, and that's fine. I think that'll go over well.
I just think it's amazing that Amazon is like gonna try and like make another good show. I think that's really
Yeah, it's
good
an
for them. They should
interesting
totally
strategy.
totally try and make more good TV.
Yeah.
Is my take.
Rings of Power season 2 coming soon, right?
I was like, people liked that, right?
People only seem to like that very cautiously. I never heard anybody be
I
like,
watched the first episode and I was just like literally begging the TV to make a joke. I'm like, please add some levity. Why is everyone so serious? These are fucking hobbits. Why
Yeah.
are they not having any levity? I'm dying here. And I had to turn it off. Like it was
How
that
many
oppressive.
breakfasts do they have, Grub?
They had 0 breakfast.
whoa, big problem.
Might have.
Oh, they made it woke.
So I was at my brother's house over the weekend, and he's like not very online at all. He's a normal person, and he's like, I saw an advertisement for a BioShock show on Netflix. I'm like, what do you mean you saw an advertisement for? And he's like, yeah, I swear. I'm like, oh, was it like because he's not very online. Sometimes he gets like duped by like shit a lot.
Yes.
I know
Him and my
these
aunt.
Yes, those trailers.
Yeah, like I'll get every now and then. Stacey and I have a friend Jenna who will send us like, "You guys see the Back to the Future 4 trailer?" I'm just like, you're so
Jenna.
like I love you, Jenna, but you're pretty
Honey.
fucking stupid.
They're bringing back Eric Stoltz. It's gonna rule.
But apparently there is a real poster for the Netflix BioShock thing
thing?
that came out like 8 months ago.
They
This is
did,
happening?
yeah. This sounds familiar, but honestly, they all mesh together in that spot where it's
Right.
like these things get announced, and I assume they won't actually ever happen.
I'm
Right.
still stuck on the Gore Verbinski
Yeah.
Bioshock.
Right. Well, that was literally like 7 years ago, Mike. So
No,
you should-
no,
it had
that
to be
was
longer
like
than that.
that's got to be like 15 years
I
ago.
think it's still making
sure.
the
I mean,
Pirates of the
whatever it is,
Caribbean movies.
whatever it is, it's a long time ago. But yeah, apparently, like this is this was real. I don't know.
I think they are making. Netflix is making this thing with Bioshock. I don't think there's an actual like ad or poster for it yet.
I mean, I remember seeing something and I was convinced, like, oh, I mean, look, it's a fucking poster, right? Who cares?
Right.
Like,
I'll make you a poster right now.
Yeah.
exactly. Like, how
yeah.
much can you really, invest in that? But I don't know. I mean, look, Bioshock to me, like I said, they should have just left the Shape of Water set up and fucking just made the Bioshock movie there and just did that shit.
Yeah, give it to GDT, baby.
That would be great.
I had a real
Oh
Xbox
yeah, totally.
360 era podcast today with Braid and Bioshock and Red Dead Redemption 1.
And then I was reading about, and I fell down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and I came across something where it was like, oh, can people still play and enjoy the original Bioshock game? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you?
Yeah, no.
To yourself?
They can't. They're like, oh, it's too like pedestrian by today's standards, and I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
what? What? No, there's no fucking way that's true.
No, I mean,
come
even
on.
had like, look, I'm sure it feels old to some people, but like, even had a big update at one point. Like, oh, come on, you must still be able to enjoy Bioshock. For the love of
I have
God.
absolutely played some of the like remaster on my Steam Deck before and been like, this is well and fine. Like,
It wouldn't be like you going back to Eternal Darkness and just being shocked by like
Yeah.
the existence of those mechanics.
Please
It would
don't pick
still
those scabs. They're
basically
too
play
fresh.
like how a video game plays today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much from a different dimension.
No,
right?
no way.
Anyway.
All right. Let's see here. Unofficial PC ports of N64 games could become a lot more frequent. A new tool called N64 Recompiled has been created by developer WiseGuy, making it easier to create N64 ports for PC. The tool automatically recompiles N64 binaries into C code in minutes, potentially turning an N64 ROM into a runnable .executable file. Oh my God, the Will Smith came for me. While emulators have allowed PC users to play N64 games, PC ports provide advantages such as improved frame rates, ultra-wide support, and 4K resolutions. They've done this to... Like they use this program on Banjo-Kazooie, Rocket Robot on Wheels, and Superman 64.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Oh,
okay,
there it is.
Superman 64 mods. Oh,
In ultra widescreen 4K. Yes.
Oh.
'cause, we've had the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Jeff.
I was just gonna say that this is something. So we should be seeing a lot more of these, and this is pretty cool. But you will need a ROM like that actually provides the assets, because this doesn't like actually like decompile what Superman's cape. It just compiles all the rest of the code of how that stuff is going to work in the game.
Because we've seen like there's like really interesting randomizers and other things made for games like Ocarina of Time because they've already been manually decompiled, right?
Mhm.
What's funny, Jan?
Oh, I'm just thinking of a Superman 64 randomizer.
Wouldn't it be great? So many rings.
How would that even work?
I mean, it kind of felt like he was playing a Superman 64 random. It's like, fly through these rings.
Honestly, we could just have him play the game again and tell him it's a randomizer, and I don't think he would know the difference.
Yeah.
So.
Tornadoes. Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, whatever.
Thunder Arena.
Yep. Oh, now you got a pickup that says, touch guys to control them instead of the frozen
We
air.
never did figure that one
No,
out.
we never
we?
did. Never used it once.
No one in chat knew. No one really understood what that
No
was
one seemed to
about.
care either.
No.
All right, wrapping stuff up here. A couple more stories. A new Doom game could be revealed at the Xbox Showcase in June. Several sources, including The Verge and Eurogamer, have reported that Microsoft plans to reveal a new Doom game at its upcoming Xbox Showcase near SGF. This coincides with a recently filed trademark by Bethesda parent ZeniMax Media titled IDKFA, a cheat code from the classic Doom game that I'm sure everyone recognizes. This is also in line with a leaked court document from last summer that also revealed a roadmap of planned Bethesda games, including a title called Doom Year Zero. what do you all want from a new Doom game? I'll go first. I want it to be like everything that's happened in the last couple Doom games, but a lot more of those classic levels to the point where it's like maybe it looks like a boomer shooter in a lot of cases.
Yeah, you know, I guess I have some trust in them. It's weird, even though like I like to Doom Eternal but didn't finish it for some reason. I mean, to be honest, Jeff, and this is an annoying answer. I kind of wish it was Quake is what I want.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Even though like I basically would just want it to play like the Doom game still, I just want something a little bit different, like the whole, you know, Doom hell aesthetic. I've seen it now for a bit. It's been fun. I could do something different. I also get, hey, if you've been on a roll with these games, they've been very well received. If you think you got enough juice for a third one, then yeah, absolutely go for it. And Doom will always be the biggest name that they have at id. You know, even over a Quake or definitely over something like a
Doom is like
right?
a cultural thing. Yes.
Doom is a thing. Everybody knows what Doom is, so I get it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I want to see them cook. I'll tell you what, I know a lot of people didn't like the platforming stuff in Doom Patrol. I never minded that.
Yep.
I thought it was fine.
Yep.
I'm kind of tired of hell, y'all. I'm kind of tired of it.
I don't want to go to hell anymore, or even Mars. Actually,
Yeah, Mars hell. It's
Mars
starting
Hell.
to look
Yeah.
the same.
but even go ahead, Backler.
What's the alternate?
Well, because Eternal
Doom.
was
Heaven.
Earth, but it was
Oh my God, he goes to heaven.
it was hell on Earth.
Heaven hell.
Yeah, but as long as whenever we go to heaven in games like in Diablo, it turns out like, oh, it's heaven, but it's no better than hell, actually.
Yeah, sure. It would
Yeah.
definitely be that.
Yeah.
It definitely would be.
It's just
And
like
already
it's
where's
just
the
white. It's just
criticism?
white hell.
Yeah,
Like,
white
all right,
hell. So Vermont.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
gonna,
sorry.
oh, you beat me to it.
Fuck.
I couldn't say anything. Y'all could.
I was actually gonna say West Virginia, but fine.
Maybe something
Sure.
more like Doom 3 that like really leans into the sci-fi aspect of it again might be more
Sure.
interesting. I don't know.
We'll see. I hope they just play up Doom Guy once again. That's the stuff I like the best. How much Doom Guy's a character now, and it's all about like all the monsters are frightened of him. That stuff's great.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
But Doom Year Zero. Do you think that has any implications?
I mean, yeah, actually it does because like where Doom 2016 started, it was kind of after shit went down, right?
Right.
So we could definitely do a on Mars shit is going down version of Doom. I suppose that's fine.
I think what I really want, I want it to be the boomer shooter version, so it looks a lot like classic Doom.
Yeah.
And then and like how it worked in Doom 16 or Doom 2016, where you would find the portals back to the old Doom. In this one, you find portals back to the new Doom, and so it actually takes you to like a game that looks like a modern game.
They will have to put some spice on it in a way that has
sure.
to separate itself, because even by the end of the last one, it was like, okay, I'm good, and that's probably why you didn't finish it, Mike.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I was kind of. I enjoyed it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm good. How about portals that take you to Quake?
How about
Hey,
another
yeah.
Portal game? How
Sure.
about that? How about just
Portal would
none
be
of
fun,
that
yeah.
and just another Portal game?
Yeah, it should just make Portal.
You know what's
3.
you know what's still a good game is Portal 2.
Portal 2 is
good.
awesome. I
Portal 2 's
played
good.
I play that probably like every 18 months.
This will probably be the Xbox showcase, and now since last week I talked about, I'll just up. Sounds like Perfect Dark will be there as well. And since I talked about it last week, also heard that's in much better shape. Just to correct the record there a little bit.
Don't you want to talk about Sly Cooper?
Yeah, I always want to talk about Sly Cooper, but I've learned my lesson. Don't talk about things.
Backlar, you think you and Dib could do like a co-op Portal 2?
Oh, 100%.
That'd be fun. I'd watch those streams.
I never finished the co-op mode in that. That'd
Yeah,
be
the co-op's
fun.
different, right?
It's completely different
Yep.
levels and like story stuff because you're
Yeah.
Peabody and Atlas. Why do I remember those names? Because I guess the game's memorable. Good on it. Yeah, that'd be
The multi-
fun.
That was like a compliment.
It's not couch co-op though, right?
I don't think it. I think it
split
works. I
screen.
think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to
Yeah.
come on PS3, honestly. Remember
All
the
right.
PS3 version of Portal and like Gabe Newell came out on stage and all that stuff?
Yeah.
You see Gabe recently? Looking good. Looking fit.
Hey, I want the record to show, by the way. I want to see if anyone's with me. I am still a Half-Life 3 believer.
Okay.
Oh, honey.
There will be a Half-Life 3 in every home within the next 10 years.
See, that only works because of your like.
Too generous, Mike.
I was
only
gonna say
so
5, and I
bold.
was like,
Stand back. Let him cook.
Do I believe 5 years? I don't know.
even the most charitable of Disney-brained psychosis that you suffer from couldn't even make it within like 2 years.
No, oh God.
No way on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, like even the most like, oh my god, dude. Sure, whatever.
If
Enjoy the
on
voices in
May
your head.
15th, 2024, so it's 10 years in one day, it happens, I'm going to rub it in your face, Mike. So just be ready for it.
I'm ready. I am ready for it. Half-Life 3 is gonna be so. God, I like Half-Life.
Let's wrap up with some Nintendo stuff. Nintendo had their earnings last week. I think we talked a little bit about on the Bombcast. To put things in perspective, Nintendo Switch era profits are now more than all other Nintendo eras combined. So from when, for the Nintendo video game eras, I suppose, and probably before that, frankly. But from the NES up through 2016, if you combine all the profits they made in every single one of those years, it does not equal the amount of profits they've made since 2017 on the Switch alone.
That's so wild because there was a time where they had the DS and the Wii. They had two wildly successful consoles, and the DS has still overall sold more consoles than the Switch, partially because they were selling a lot of, people are getting multiple DSs because there were so many revisions in that case. But, I mean, it's just a combination of how much software they sell for the Switch and also probably how much this would include money that they are making from things like the movie and the theme parks and licensing. And
it would also include, just selling games at a higher price and it's not spending as much money on making them.
Choice.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, these games have been $60 the entire generation, and they continue to sell. Mario Kart being the best example of that. Yes, exactly.
Deluxe has sold 60-something million copies now. It is bananas.
They also did confirm, again, we probably talked about this last week, that they'll have a Nintendo Direct in June. So we'll be looking out for that. One thing that may show up there, but they've already announced it, is Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which is a retro speedrun challenge game coming to the Switch in July. It is going to be $30, although I got the $60 physical version because it looks pretty cool.
Same.
It comes with a little gold cartridge that looks like the Nintendo NES World Championship. It's great.
It's a pin.
Oh, boys!
I got a bunch of my pins over here.
Show me your pins, Mikey.
They're just kids, aren't they, Jan?
Oh, man. Wow, you got a whole board.
Yeah, I've been working on it. I've been working on my pins. For the audio listeners, this is my Metal Gear Solid Kodak ones. There's some of the Nintendo ones I got when we went to, I think, at PAX. There's a Kirby. Here's a Mike Wazowski from Monsters University, and it says Mike, and that's my name. So I got that one. Here's Scrooge McDuck dressed as a pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Mike, stop showing off the hentai pins, please.
That's great.
That's Samus. Don't worry. It's a little...
Question.
Yeah, she looks cute.
What would you call the thing you're holding in your hand?
Pinboard.
A pin holder.
What is it, like felt? Is it like...
It's felt. It has these little flappy things, see? That you can put the pin on.
That's neat. So are these all of your Disney pins as well?
It's a lot of things, because these four down here came in the Armored Core 6 Special Edition.
Yeah.
This is like a Monkey Island cover one right here. BlizzCon did a bunch of their own pins. For a
I'm not mad at. This
Mike
I like.
Minotti, you're a treasure.
I like
Knight.
He's a
this
good
was
boy.
when I beat Jeff Grubb at Smash Brothers at the Nintendo thing.
I was there.
100%.
Wait, I gave you a pin at PAX, did I not? Where's that?
Which one? Which one you
shit,
give me?
You're in trouble.
Where's the pin
mad at you.
I
You piece of
gave
shit.
you
Mama's
at
mad.
You
PAX?
sack.
I
You
can't
worthless
remember.
sack of shit.
I put all my pins on here.
Now that's complaining.
Apparently you didn't.
Was it the Jack?
He only
Bro?
puts up the important pins.
Wow.
Mike, I thought we reached a new level of our friendship at the top of the show here.
Was it this cool cat?
No, you know exactly which pin it was.
Jeff Baclar would not give you a cat pin.
I'll not give you a cat pin. No, I guess I'll have to bring some more with me.
Wait, is there literally a Jerf pen?
He did not give me a Jerf pin. I would have treasured that.
Oh, I guess I didn't give you that.
There is no way you gave me a Jerf pin.
I
would have
gave
been
everyone
so
one.
excited.
You gave
I
me
don't
one.
remember getting one.
I gave you one, Jan. Yeah,
I
You
want
gave me one.
Yeah, Jan's got it. Grub, no, you don't have one either.
I don't remember, but I don't have any respect for you, so don't worry.
Well, all right.
I better get a Jerf pin now.
Part 2 in LA. We'll do that.
I'll put it right under Samus. So Samus can step on it.
Nikki also didn't get shit.
Really?
I feel like I would
Nikki?
remember. You've given me Jerf stickers, and I remember that. I think I would remember the pen, so I don't remember.
All right.
Pins rule because they're like cheap souvenirs you can get.
No, they're fun. They're fun. Yeah, I get it.
I got one from the Shed Aquarium on there.
Ooh.
I remember being CC'd when we were making the original GB pins of like all the folks. Dave Nalaska writing a very sternly written email saying like, you need to fix Jan's shade because he looks white here. He's brown.
Oh,
I was like,
nice.
thanks,
Man,
Nalaska.
what an ally.
There you go.
All right, that does it for the news. Really, I keep thinking about Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. That's going to be so much fun.
It's interesting that they announced that before their showcase. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
like I hope you got some like other good stuff then. I hope I don't like get to that. It's like, well, man, the Nintendo World Championship would have really plussed that. I don't know why it came out early.
Yeah, the things I have written down for Nintendo: Fire Emblem, Mario Baseball, and this is speculation. Everybody, speculation.
Write
Fire
your
Emblem.
headlines now.
Yeah, Fire Emblem,
Wind Waker,
Mario
Jeff,
Baseball.
did you just say
Mario
Wind
and
Waker's
Sonic at
coming
the Summer
for
Olympic
sure?
Games, Metroid Prime remaster,
Oh
hopefully.
my goodness! Wow, finally, Wind Waker HD, incredible. And Mother 3! Wow, giant bombs! Ha!
Right
Jesus.
after Mommy's Day.
There it is.
Um,
And on Mommy's Day.
All days.
It's a speculation.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Please.
Why is ARMS still $59.99?
Because
That's
Nintendo doesn't care.
incredible.
Yeah,
you think
man.
at a certain point they'd be like, we want more people to buy that so that if we make
No.
an ARMS too, nah.
No.
Like,
Same
fuck
reason.
you.
Same
2
reason.
million of you
Cream.
will buy it.
It's the same reason cream cheese is still $8. You know
And
what I mean?
whenever I play a game on this website and I have like my notifications for people coming online turned on and you guys yell at me, I don't want to turn it off because I get so happy every time I see Nintendo's PR guy booting up ARMS, which he does every single day. I'm
There's
like,
a bot
you're-
doing that
You
for
are
him.
out there doing that. I talked to him about it. He's like, no, man, I'm still not ranked number one in the world, but I'm getting there.
What are the odds of an ARMS 2 year one Switch 2?
It's not zero.
It's not zero.
0%.
I don't think it's even like only 10. I think
Yeah.
it's like
See-
I think it's at least 30.
But that's
Uh-huh.
the thing, like that's why Nintendo just exists in a world that we do not understand because
Yes,
they
they
are
are.
seeing
Doing their own
ARMS
thing.
and they're like, yeah, there's profit there. There's profit there to be made. Everyone's like, what? ARMS too? Yeah.
ARMS has
They're like,
legs.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking make
All
a couple million
right,
bucks. on
we're
that.
gonna go take a break after
I
that.
said ARMS has legs.
Okay, Grub, you haven't given back the show yet, but I'm gonna take it back.
That's it for the
forcefully.
news. Please take the show back over and save us, Jan.
Okay, this continues to be a crime here because everybody 1-2 Switch is $30.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make me pay 2 of those for 1 ARMS? I don't get the math here. Folks, we're gonna go read some emails right after this break. Now. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Send your Chili's receipts, your fishing newsletters, your musings on anything. Someone has been just treating the Bombcast email address as a daily journal, just jotting down
Hell yeah.
a bunch of miscellaneous thoughts, and they had posited, I think I listened to Jeff Grubb more than my own girlfriend. So,
Which, listen, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
don't maybe don't do that. Maybe go listen to your partner more.
Yep.
You can miss an episode of something. You'll catch up later.
That's right. I repeat myself a lot. You're good.
Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address. We got a bunch of emails from you fine folks. First one is about Animal Well. I didn't write down the emailer, but they write in and say, "Yo, this game is 34 megabytes in 2024. What the fuck, Billy Basso? Bye."
I did think something was wrong when I installed it.
Oh, I thought it was a little bigger. It's really only 34.
Yeah. I mean, it might extract to like 50, but it's like under 50. Can you guys think of the name Billy Basso without thinking about Bill Brasky from SNL?
No, in fact, I restrained
Billy
myself
Basso would eat a homeless person if
so
he dared him.
hard
Yes.
to not make that joke the first time it was said like 2 hours ago on this
Yep,
show.
I know. Here we are now.
No, I think of Will Sasso.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
The battle
Someone-
lines have been drawn.
Mad
Team
TV versus
Brasky.
SNL. Here it goes.
But I do
Mad
like the Bill
TV,
Brasky
not problematic
thing.
at all.
No, never has been.
What was it like? He ate a horse, Bill Brasky, right?
Yeah.
Bill
Like,
Brasky.
He sheds his skin once a year.
yeah. That's
He
not
gave
bad.
Poop is used as
Ron
currency in
Perry the
Argentina.
idea for Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like every like sketch will go into like one long story. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like start riding like somebody as a horse in the Kentucky Derby. He's about to win, and then like his arm broke, and they're coming down to shoot him. And go, wait, don't shoot him. He's a human.
I ever tell you about the
love
time he
that.
sold me into slavery? Yeah.
Bill Brasky.
Billy
It's always-
Basso.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good.
It's you know, it's kind of a dumb sketch, and I like
It's
it.
dumb. It's
Oh,
not
it's
bad though. It's got,
Yep.
it's, it's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's Celebrity Jeopardy and Super Fans. I think that's my SNL
Sure.
Mount Rushmore reoccurring segments.
The Jeopardy one's also very good.
Jeopardy one's
There's room
pretty
for a
good.
fourth, I guess.
I
don't
like
know.
Goat Boy.
Yeah, you
Okay.
do?
Okay.
Just joking.
Have a seat.
I don't
Have a
believe you.
seat. Grub.
Modern SNL, also not that bad, folks. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
I'm
like
sure.
every now and then there's a banger. I
Yeah.
think it's
What?
it's fine.
What are you telling me that shows could still be good even with when
hear
there's
a
a lot
bird.
of newer people
Yeah.
on there instead of the old ones? What's going on?
I heard
mean-
a bird.
Imagine that. It's not like that happens with websites.
Yeah, it's true. Surface Canyon has like the Beavis and Butthead skit. I think did
Oh yeah,
launch SNL back into relevancy. In a,
like
in
the
a
moment
big way.
when they first start talking and they sound nothing like those characters. You're like,
You're like, all right, that's not bad.
I'm not familiar with that show.
Like, who is this Bemis person? What?
Yeah,
It's
Do
not bad.
What's with this bird?
What bird?
What are you doing?
It's the crow.
I'm not doing shit. This is not me.
There's birds outside. I don't know. They're geese.
At my
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is you. This
I'm
is
sorry. It's like fucking season or something. I don't know.
So a Tuesday.
Backlash says it's fucking season.
What do you want
Come on,
from
honey,
me?
get to the bedroom. You are still on the
They're,
podcast.
Can you
they're
say it like-
Canadian geese.
Can-
Merlin
can
told
you
me
say
they're
it like
Canadian
Elmer
geese.
Fudd? Can you say it like Elmer Fudd?
Be very quiet. It's fucking season. But like the Canadian geese are fucking. They are down. They are down to
it's the
fuck.
geese that are fucking.
Dude,
Alright.
Oh, you're right. I mean, come on. That was clear as day, boys.
We have fun here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Hey, a discovery I made during the break. Everybody 1-2 switch is what, $39? I said. 1-2 switch is still $50.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Good is right. I hope it's $100.
I hope
Okay,
snipper clips cost more still than everybody 1-2 switch.
it's funny.
Next email comes from Jeff in Quebec. Jan, can you read this with a Batman voice? Or maybe get Backlar to do it. I don't know. Jeff, do you want to read this in a Batman voice? Do you have the emails pulled up, or should I just do it?
Yeah, you could. Oh, I see it. Do you want to do? Well, let's trade off voices.
Okay.
Let's go trade off sentences.
Copy.
You start.
The night is dark and silent.
The streets need a voice, a hero to make sure the plight of the vulnerable is heard loud and clear.
Then heard again.
The dark echo.
He emerges from the shadows.
What's up? Come on, Batman would never say this. What's up, dumpers? He mutters off.
What were your wrestling names when you were kids?
The podcast co-hosts are in awe.
He performs his finishing move, the kiss on the cheek, and vanishes with an echo.
A dark echo.
We need. I want Dark Echo merch so bad.
You down with DC?
It's
I'm
gonna
down
cost
with
you.
DC.
It's gonna cost
Yeah.
you.
Mike was in a tag team with his brother called the Minotti Twins. That was pretty cool.
That's not true.
They were on the indie scene. He doesn't want to admit it. He sees
What,
a
The
guy.
Minotti? What is that what
No.
you said?
I never wanted. I
Minotti.
never. Even back then, I never wanted to be a wrestler. I always wanted to be like a ring announcer or manager, just called Mike Minotti. And I was a ring announcer one
Your
time
name.
at an indie show, and Jake the Snake Roberts was there, and I ring announced him, and then he got arrested for an outstanding parking ticket after the match.
Okay.
Your bad
boy.
luck.
No, that was fun. We all had a good time. He signed an autograph for me. He was like playing along, like he wrote a lot of insults on it to me. But it was good stuff. Yeah, except for the arrest.
Okay.
A lot of fun memories there. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't think he went to jail. It's just like, hey, you got to come answer some questions about all these outstanding parking tickets or whatever it was.
I feel like a lot of wrestler stories end that way. you know?
Yeah.
Well, older
Cops
wrestlers,
get
older
involved.
wrestlers.
Yeah, older wrestlers, yeah.
Speaking about wrestlers and Dark Echo. If you missed last week's voicemail dump truck, we had Evil Uno and the Chugs Adam Cole on. Very good app. Very good app.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Debut of Dark Echo and all that
Yeah.
shit, too.
I saw Dan returned the favor and was on AEW's video game podcast with
Yeah,
us
they're
too.
AAW Arcade or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Next, 2 emails are from 2 different people and part of a whole grouping of disc golf emails.
Oh gosh.
This one comes from I didn't put your name, so I'm sorry. Good morning. Similar to the last caller, I too was ecstatic when my favorite podcast, which normally focuses on one of my 2 hobbies, mentioned my other hobby. Let's go! There seemed to be some confusion about the discs themselves, so I thought I'd write to attempt and clear some of it up, at least how I understand them. The number referencing speed, glide, turn, and fade are as follows. Speed. This is the speed of the disc, but think of it as arm speed required for the disc to achieve subsequent 3 numbers. Lower speeds help achieve more accuracy. You may notice speeds are as follows. Putters, mid-range, fairway drivers, distance drivers. Glide. This is the disc's ability to maintain loft. Turn. This is how understable a disc is. The more negative the number, the easier it is to achieve a left-to-right flight pattern when throwing it right hand, backhand, RHBH.
What?
Fade is how stable a disc is. The more positive the number, the harder the disc will come back to the left on a right to left pattern when throwing RHBH. The natural pattern for a RHBH throw is right to left. Some also throw forehand, sidearm. This is a natural right to left pattern. You can also shape shots by altering your throw and release on the disc. Apart from these, numbered discs are made in a way to have more different flight patterns. Plastic and weight also add to this. I'm an Innova guy myself, but there are many PDGA approved manufacturers and great options for discs for different shot shapes, distance, etc. My home course has holes that range from 190 feet to 430 feet to give you an idea of hole distance. Sorry for the long email. I hope this helps get someone fired up about a great sport. My brother and I play regularly, and my son has started coming out with us as
fun.
well. If you're ever in New Orleans, ever in the New Orleans area and want to play around, let me know. Your friend from New Orleans. P.S. Today's my birthday. Getting old hurts.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! I do not want to play disc golf, but happy birthday! I do want to go to New Orleans. Do you think I might possibly have a rookie of the year situation with disc golf now?
100%.
Oh,
What?
Rosenheimer.
You
Why
got to
so
finish the
immediately
story.
against disc golf, Mike? It feels like something to be like, I would try that.
No, well, I'd never done it before. That's a problem. And then
What,
number
throwing
two,
a frisbee?
they made
Okay.
it sound very complicated.
Are you talking
okay.
about throwing a frisbee?
I've
Is that
thrown
what you...
frisbees. I haven't thrown them into the nets or whatever those
To the
things
bird
are.
prison.
To
Yeah.
the bird
Bird
prison.
prison.
Yeah.
I guess you're right, Jeff. That was close-minded of me. You know what?
I was just curious.
Emailer-
I'm like, is there something specific that was turning you off? The complexity, I get that. I accepted that as an answer. That was fine.
No, I'll do it. I know there's a part of me. It's like I'll just go golfing.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like some association with golf.
Because like
All
I
right.
do like some of the bullshit trappings of golf, right? Like,
Well, you're
do
you're
that with our
fancy
weird
snob.
bird prisons.
well, I just like oh wow, somebody's like really cares about grass here. Like they are cutting this grass so precisely and so nicely. And like, look at that bush; it's been trimmed well, and there's a little pond here. It's just like being able to look at very well landscaped grass. And
Same,
sometimes
but-
I need that in my life.
If you play
Same.
regular golf, though, you can't get the old right hand backhand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a different kind of bush. Second email about disc golf.
What's the
Howdy,
backhand
bombers.
doing?
Disc golf is fun. I play every other month or so for the past 10 years and have only owned 20 or so total discs
So
in
6
that
times
time.
a year.
Only
Okay.
20
Got it. Got it.
Most courses are free or very cheap, $5 or less typically, so don't think you're busting loads of cash out here. Also, I recommend starting with just a putter to learn as it's the most forgiving disc. Much love, Nick from Greenville, South Carolina, sent from my
Yeah, I mean, I would do disc golf. Sure, I would gladly do it in a
I
heartbeat.
have the discs. I have Innova, which our friend from New Orleans, whose birthday it is, recommended. So
Oh, there you go.
I just need to find a course that because the one I went
let's
to was
let's
rough.
become Dolph Daddies, huh?
Yeah, Dolph Daddy.
Golf-
Oh, man,
disc
that's a series
golf.
right
I
there.
get it.
Yes,
Golf daddies.
Dolph Daddies.
Yeah,
Cool.
can I get like these Dick's Sporting Goods?
No,
Yeah, you can get
no,
them at
that's for
Dick's.
real
Did you,
sports.
did you just really want to say Dick's? Is that what that was?
No, I like Dick's. It's like kind of cozy in there.
So yes,
I
I
like.
can't believe I just said that.
I like.
Da, 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 da.
No, it's a good store. It's like God, it's nice in there.
Stop
they have,
digging the
like-
hole, Mike. Stop digging the hole.
I think they have like that fishing section, and I go here like, man, not yet, but like 10, 20 years from now, could be spending a lot of time in here.
No,
It's
Mike,
just a
yeah?
matter of time. The longer the nose hair gets, the more likely you're going to become a fishing guy. That's
Oh,
just the
yeah.
rule.
Do you think you have a destiny that involves fishing?
I've done some fishing, and I always like it. Yeah, I think it's something I'll get into more as time goes on.
I bought
Okay.
crab snares, y'all.
What's that?
Going crabbing. Do you love crabs?
snares.
Yeah, he's got him.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Is
That's
that
right,
like-
folks. I have crabs.
What
That's a free
well, it's the shampoo and what else? What are you doing?
So you get like a little cage that you put the bait in
Oh, so
normally.
it's like it's a crab trap.
a crab trap, and then
Got
it's
it.
kind of like a bunch of zip ties, and then the crabs are trying to like pinch at the food, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, I'm stuck now,"
Yeah.
and then you pull them up. And then I got a crab measuring tool as well because you can only catch a certain size of crab.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and you have to
interesting.
send the other ones back.
Yeah, it's
Oh, so big or so little? Like they have to be what?
they have to be they have to be at least 5.5 inches for you to take home.
Yeah,
and then
I don't deal with anyone who's under that. Come on.
Yeah.
any smaller than that, you literally throw it back into the ocean.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. They have like sharp gills sometimes. You can cut your hands and then
Yeah.
The crabs?
No, I got back on fish. I'm sorry. I went back to talking about me.
Oh,
He was still having a conversation with himself that entire time, and then
were
just
you
jumped right back in.
So blatantly waiting to speak that you've disregarded what was said.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
well, look, I was responding to somebody in chat who was talking about fishing in Disney World.
Go do a
And then-
podcast with
Yeah.
them, then, Mike.
Then DM them.
I was
DM
like,
them.
I'm listening. I'm also listening to Jan. I'm doing a good job. That Jan
Sure.
talked about like how it's like dangerous, and I'm like, yes,
Nope,
because of the
that's not what he
gills.
said.
Forgetting that he was still talking about crabbing. So Jan, I apologize. Would you please tell me more about catching crabs?
No,
The story was
Mike
over,
is just-
Mike.
Mikey's just filling up the soundboard today, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the quota has been met, but we got to keep going.
You know what? I would definitely rather get if I was gonna keep them. I'd rather get crabs than fish. Crabs taste way better than fish.
All right, next email comes is about backlogs. God, my brain is broken. I almost said a different word that begins with back. Hey, gang, back in college, I had a
Backdraft?
lot. Nope.
Yeah.
I
like
had
that movie.
a lot more free time, and I was frequently beating games in my backlog at a rate about 1 per week. What has happened to this website? Why are we like this now?
Can't
We're
say the word
broken. It's
beat
Mike's
it
fault.
anymore. My fault. Oh, just because the first time I came on here, I accidentally showed a condom in my wallet.
Yes, you showed us your ring of
Everything's
power.
My fault. My rings of power. Season 2. Here we go.
The most viral ad campaign. I estimated that if I tried to beat every game in my backlog, God, we need to stop using the word beat and backlog, all right?
Solve. I actually had a cousin who would like only
Solve
say
the
I
game
solved video games.
No,
and get mad at
finish.
me when
You
I said
finish
beat
the
it.
game. You finish the game.
We're gonna pivot to
Finish,
solve.
Okay.
Solve is not. I think completed or finished
Oh,
is fine.
yes, you love to complete things. Yes.
Yeah, well,
See?
look.
Also sexual. Nothing sexual about
guess
solving.
what? You try hard enough, any word will be
You said
sexual.
hard.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
That's my
this
point.
is Mikey's fault.
Why am I got a solution. I'm fixing problems.
Are you fixing the problem that you may have started, Mike?
I may have middled it. I don't know if I started it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Planted
All
your
right.
flag strongly in the
Anyways.
middle there.
All right, back to this email. Hey, gang.
Backlogs.
Back in college, I had a lot more free time, and I was frequently beating games in my backlog at a rate about 1 per week. I estimated that if I tried to beat every game in my backlog at that rate, it would take me roughly 7 to 8 years.
What?
Present day me,
Lots of Steam sales.
yeah, exactly, does not have nearly as much free time, and there are so many amazing games coming out every single month. How are we supposed to keep up with it?
You don't.
That's a good thing.
At
It's
this
like-
rate, I have completely given up on finishing my backlog, and now I just have an amorphous blob of video games that I sift through to find something that seems cool on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what? You don't need to. Look, you're not gonna not get into heaven if you don't finish your backlog. You know, leave some of those
No
behind.
one's reading every book. Like, well, yeah, we're listening to every song. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, we're there.
I'm
You
so
know.
behind on Shogun. I've only watched half of one episode.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take if you seriously considered finishing your backlog? Oh my God.
No.
If
I mean,
you
there's
did
like
this,
there's a lot of games back there. Literally, I haven't finished.
yeah. If you did this, would you make any changes to what's considered a backlogged game, or is this just every game in your library that you own but haven't finished?
Yeah,
God.
I don't have I don't have an official backlog. I have a bunch of games I haven't played yet.
And you have
And-
Steam Press accounts.
Yeah, and a Steam Press account.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
boy.
So things just like, hey, maybe one day I'll play that, and that's how I think about it.
You can't live life this way. Caller,
Yeah, I agree.
writer, emailer.
Yeah.
I
mean,
you
it
will
is
just-
like
Yeah, go ahead. Interrupt me, Mike.
no
What do you gotta say?
backlog. I would please like for you to finish. I'm sorry.
You just can't live life that way. You have to live in the moment. If you are obsessive over a backlog, the backlog will consume you. You
Yes.
can't live your life that way. You are going to die without playing every single game.
Yeah, Nietzsche said that.
You know. And what'd you say, Mike, about getting into heaven? You're not gonna what?
Yeah, they're not gonna not let you into heaven because you didn't beat Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. It's gonna be fine.
Exactly. Well, that and heaven's not real, but yes, exactly.
Jeez, I'm glad I let you finish that.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. I just dropped my banana on my keyboard, and it sent a weird smiley face into chat. I don't know.
That's the banana.
The
Whoa,
banana,
the
I
banana
literally
did
dropped
that.
it. It hit enter even.
That's sick.
So, all right.
Well, the banana's got an agenda.
Is
Yeah.
smiling at us. Don't
That's a
eat
haunted
that
banana. I'm throwing it away. Go
Yeah,
away.
do not eat that banana.
No, yeah, it's thinking.
Yeah, it's like the Dreamcast.
I had some leftover hot dog buns and like 2 bananas that I didn't want to turn into banana bread. I thought about making a peanut butter and banana sandwich out of that hot dog bun.
What a good,
Yeah,
that's an
sure.
interesting way to ruin a good peanut butter sandwich.
That sounds good to me.
I forgot. Oh, never mind. This next email comes from Josh. Hello, everyone. Josh from Wisconsin here. On the most recent episode of Jeff's New Vegas playthrough, Jan described the dream he had about a one dejected Mike Minotti kicking a can down the road. Mike, unfortunately, did not have a dream about Jan, but I did. This has been living in my head rent-free for at least 6 months. I dreamt that I had joined Giant Bomb, and my first day on the job was doing the Bombcast. The weird thing, though, is that the Bombcast was taking place at a mall food court. Seems like a pretty bad place to do a podcast, but what do I know? I'm new to this company. Anyways, we do the podcast, and I thought it went well, but I don't remember anything that we talked about. It's not important anyways, as what happens next is what really matters. After the show, I go up to Jan and I say, "This is incredible. I really get paid to talk about video games." Jan rolls his eyes and replies, "Ugh, yes, you get paid to talk about video games." And Speed walks away from me. This was unacceptable.
Why were you so rude to this person?
Yeah,
I don't know. This was unacceptable and has made me feel like I am not welcome at Giant Bomb. I think the rest of you guys are going to need to have a talk with Jan about his workplace etiquette.
We're working on it.
This is unprofessional behavior, and I will not tolerate it. I do not care if we were recording the show at a mall food court. We need to be treating it like an office environment. If I'm to remain a Giant Bomb, all I ask is to be treated with respect. Sincerely, Josh.
Yeah. So Jan, pretty disappointing behavior.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that like sometimes podcasts can go long, and sometimes you got places to be, and I know that you're used to doing this, but look. This person was very excited to be doing their first podcast. And I know sometimes you have to fake a smile. We've all been there, but you just can't be rude like that. You can't make your problems their problems, buddy.
Fuck off, Mike.
yeah.
That's fair.
All right, next email. This is actually a trend. My friends dream of me being an asshole, so I don't know what that paints in the lives of my friends. Next email, and I'm glad we have Mikey on the show.
I'm gonna get a Discord message from you in an hour saying, "I'm sorry, I said fuck off."
It's gonna happen. I thought about saying it immediately afterwards and typing it now.
I already forgive you.
Okay. All right. Next email, and Mikey, I'm glad you're here because the subject of this email read, "Disney's Lorcana kind of gave me a mental breakdown."
Oh, good.
Hey, bummers.
I mean, not about your mental breakdown. That I'm here to talk about it.
Recently, my husband and I have started playing Lorcana. I'm new to the game and this style of card game in general. So we've been playing a few slow rounds at night while I learn, taking time to look at each card in my hand or his to explain what they do, how they do it, and so on. So far, it's been really fun. I enjoy learning the gameplay mechanics, and I also really enjoy looking at the characters and artwork. Last night, we were playing, and my husband went to play a card that he was very excited to show me. It was a hollow foil card, and had the highest rarity. I was truly in awe of its art. It's the Sisu Divine Water Dragon card, if you're interested.
Yes, from Ryan the Last Dragon.
And while admiring the art, my husband casually informed me that that specific card was currently valued at $160 at a card resale site. $160 American dollars. This had broken my brain. How can such a simple thing hold so much value?
I mean, it's Aquafina. What do you expect?
And why haven't I been taking advantage of this shit? My husband has thousands of Magic the Gathering cards just sitting in bags in a closet. Are those bags just full of secretly expensive cards? Sitting in our basic-ass closet waiting for us to do something with them? I want to sell these cards. I obviously won't sell anything that he finds sentimental, but when money runs out, sentiments don't pay the bills. So here we are. So anyway, if you see a grown-ass adult woman skipping down the street with a stack of cards in her hand, it might be me on my way home from selling drugs, Lorcana cards. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Colorado night for me, so I'm kind of faded, lol.
Hell yeah.
Love y'all. Okay, bye. Allison from Alabama.
Thank you, Allison.
Pulling those enchanteds feels really good. That's those highest rare. And they have special kind of arts. Like they don't have the normal border, so you know right away that they're really special. And yeah, they go for a lot. I think there's an Elsa enchanted from the first set that I think is still the most expensive card. I'm going to look at its price right now. I have one enchanted. It's my Sorcerer's Mickey hat. I think it's probably also like at that 150.
How you keeping these in top loaders? What are we doing
here?
here?
I got I'll show you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see how Mike takes care of his stuff.
Yeah. So here's my
okay.
enchanted, and it's like a magnetic seal case, so I could just kind of rip it open there. It's like the same thing that card people use. That seems like a waste of money. I don't know. Though there's like too much space in here. It seems to be curling a smidge. I think it's fine. I don't know. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. But yeah, you know what? Hey, sell your cards if you want to. That's also a perfectly valid way to have fun with Lorcana. I've been collecting more than I've been playing. I want to play more for sure.
You play? You're okay. That was going to be my next question because as someone who lives in a home with someone who doesn't even know how to play Pokemon, we certainly have thousands of those cards, don't we?
Holy crap!
Yeah. The Elsa Spirit of Winter enchanted card from the first chapter sells for about $1,192.
What am I doing, Mikey?
Now
that's raw.
That's a raw. That's a That's the enchanted Elsa card from the first set. My sorcerer's hat is only at 85 right now.
Are they
Shame.
so? Are these are there boosters or are there like hobby
There's
boxes?
boosters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy.
And there's
you
like a
know,
new season like every 2 months.
It's just like Magic the Gathering, the Pokemon cards. There's like every 3 months or so is a new set. A new set actually comes out this Thursday or Friday. And
Are you revealing a card from the new set?
No, not yet. I've made first contact with
I bet
Peter.
you're
I'm still
close.
working on that. But
Nice.
This
I'm
is how
excited
you
for
become a skipper, Mike.
Yep.
oh man,
Step one.
Yeah, I've been talking with Banyello too about Lorcano, and that's been fun. It's a good game, and there's just fun. I just like seeing the cards and opening up, and it is like a little bit of that gambling, like, ooh, am I gonna get an enchanted? Because that would make my life better.
Doesn't that
that would fill
hit-
the hole inside of me.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't that like anticipation feel great?
Feels great because like it's
nice to
like
feel
those things like
something.
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Then like when it does happen, it's like, oh my god, it happened.
We got this email hitting the box right now. Mall food court important follow-up.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Bombers. I had the Bombcast on, but I heard Josh's email about dreaming of y'all podcasting at a mall food court and sparked an important question. If y'all were doing a lunch podcast in a mall food court, what food court food would y'all be eating? Love y'all, and shout out to Josh for making me think of this question.
I'd be doing either the acai bowl or the one that does like a cool like a pressed sandwich one. You know.
Panines?
Yeah, a little panini action,
Okay.
something like that. And then if I have to settle, I'll just eat a bucket of Nathan's French fries.
Okay.
Okay.
So the question is, what am I eating at a mall food court?
Yeah.
For lunch.
We're all hanging out at a mall food court.
Yeah,
In
I'd
a
probably do it.
podcast.
I think Nikki's right. Like Panda Express.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I'm always
Could
going
get like
to
their
the
firecracker
Chinese,
chicken and stuff. Yeah.
the bourbon chicken, or
Ooh.
just like with just some white rice with that sauce on it,
Yeah.
and a little fortune cookie.
Fried rice. Yeah, all that.
Yeah,
Real good.
We don't have Pin Express in our mall, but something exactly like it, and I
Mhm.
like just sugar chicken, right? Just
Yeah.
get fried chicken covered in some kind
Glazed
of
in
sugar
sugar.
sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, that stuff's great.
I would just order 3 Cinnabons.
Okay.
3? Oh my
Yeah.
God, Jan.
God, I can't
Gotta
tell
bulk up.
y'all how
3?
much I fucking love cinnamon.
I'm with
Cinnamon,
you.
yes,
but
I
there,
agree.
it's a lot. 3's a lot. But
It's a lot, but it's worth it.
I was
It's
talking
good
with.
for you.
Thank you,
Wow.
Mike. Thank you.
It's like a tree. It's like a plant. Cinnamon.
Yeah, it's
A
bark.
vegetable.
It's wow.
Cinnamon
okay.
is my favorite
It
vegetable.
grows
yes.
from the ground.
I mean, look, you guys
bet
are right.
I could legitimately make Dan Riker believe that cinnamon's a vegetable.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like, well, it's not impossible here. I was speaking to I was taking this funnel cake idea that I had, idea that I made and took into fruition, and then I thought, let's apply this to churros. And then I thought, hear me out, y'all, hear me out. I just want to get a pulse check here.
sure.
Instead of coating in sugar and cinnamon, maybe perhaps we dust it and coat it in pork rinds and chicharron.
You're just trying to make another savory thing.
Yeah, like you're removing the dessert value and you're inserting the savory value.
Yeah.
is what you're doing, which is
Can we-
fine. Yeah.
Can we cover it in the pork rinds and then also still the cinnamon sugar?
Let's get freaky, Mikey.
Yeah.
Again.
There's cinnamon in Skyline's chili. So it's,
Yeah,
think
but it
a lot
doesn't
of chilies have
dominate the
cinnamon.
flavor,
Yeah.
right?
That's a
Like,
little
yeah.
nice spice.
yeah,
kind of
I
thing
think
to
if you were to amp it up more, I don't think it would hurt anything.
No,
Okay.
it's like when you put cocoa powder in a chili. Also, that's a good
Yeah.
move sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you put coffee in there as well.
hmm
Coffee,
Make it big.
Some cocaine.
big time. Some cocaine. Yeah. Did
Cocaine.
everybody say their Chinese food order?
I didn't.
Or
I'm not
I'll order.
ordering. You're going that way. I'm going the other way. And we're
I
not.
would do an
gonna
Auntie
be,
Anne's pretzel as well.
You know.
Yeah. Annie Ann's is always pretty good. It's funny. I associate Annie Ann's and Cinnabon more with airports than I do with malls.
Sure. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
at my mall,
I think
but yeah.
there's a big Venn diagram overlap there.
Right.
You know.
Did Jen get muted?
I think he muted himself.
Yeah. Mike, one time I ate at that Simon restaurant at the airport, and I was like, oh, it was really good.
Michael
And
Simon.
Backlar wasn't having it.
No.
Yeah, he's like, no, you can't have good food at an airport. You still that's your
Oh.
position, right? Backlar,
Oh, it's like
kind of like
impossible.
it's like low class, low rent.
Your words, not mine. I think
I'm
like
trying to understand you.
no, I think you can have a good meal at an airport that's been like, renovated in the last 5 years, maybe. I think for the most part.
This Simon restaurant like looks like any modern restaurant. It like looks really nice.
Yeah, like
he's an Iron Chef. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sure, the true mark of quality. I mean, I think.
I think so.
No, like, yeah, I don't know. I think you can have it there. But like I'm never waiting for a plane and I'm like, well, I'm going to eat good before this flight.
Yeah.
It just never works out.
I will say the worst meal I've ever had was definitely at an airport like restaurant, just some like generic like sports grill, and it was
Right.
just
Yes. There's a
some
lot
awful
of those
chicken
shitty
sandwich.
ones, definitely.
Yeah.
Like-
there's like a Hard Rock restaurant or something like that. I ate at LAX or something a couple times, and it's always disappointing.
Does my microphone work now?
Hey, he's
Yes.
back.
Yeah, hey,
God.
They make Chili's become like a mini Chili's in order for it to fit inside the
Yeah,
airport.
yeah.
Right, or
I'm
the
not
mini-
like
yeah.
saying that's a good thing. Yeah.
Like-
The Applebee's.
It's, yeah. Tiny
Folks-
Wolfgang Puck, like, it's like,
Sure.
what are we doing?
Little Wolfgang. Folks, we got
Favorite SoundCloud rapper. Yeah.
If you missed it this morning, a new demo derby just dropped. Jeff Grubb put a whole new PC in his PC.
Yep. Got my
Fired up a
Voodoo
little
3
bit.
right here.
Windows 98.
Blight Club, Daikatana, Grub Katana, Daika Grubba Katana.
Hey, we'll see
Daika
what it's called this
Grubbatana.
week.
Who knows? Also popping off tomorrow. Later this week, we have a couple of co-op adventures. We're going to try and drop into Elden Ring co-op, as well as Ghost of Tsushima co-op on UPF. KMS mornings for the rest of the week. Voicemail, Dump Truck, Jeff's Bizarre Adventure dropping tomorrow. And you know what else is available? Tickets to Giant Bomb at Night, hosted by Jeff Grubb. Night 3, the grand finale on 6/9. Nice. Boyos, what did we learn today?
Get a ticket or I'll break my other wrist.
We learned that Mikey's wrist is broken. We learned that the pooping duck is a medical term. The default soda might just be Coke, and that Dib has now tasted the poison. Complainers are different than whiners. Jeff Backlar decided the tribunal of animals. Jeff Grubb liked a game. We learned that pixels are also wet. That Jeff Grubb also likes more of a dewy game. We learned about the existence of Tom Braider. Grubb and I are now on a quest to become Dolph Daddies. And Bacalar and Mikey complete each other. Folks,
It's true.
that has been the Giant Bombcast. We'll see you next week for another episode of Giant Bombcast. I've been Jed, he's been Jeff, he's been Jeff, he's been Mikey, and you at home have been Gorge. Look at you. Look at how that thing moved. God damn.
Looking real hot. So hot.
I got to deal with this banana.
This unruly banana.
Smiling banana taunting us.
Smiling bananas, crabs, beating it, backlogs. Oh, it feels so
We're
dirty.
solving it now.
So dirty. I'm going to solve this podcast.
I'm going to solve my wife later, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
See, I made it dirty. Now you can't say that one either.
Like a puzzle box.